in the flow because it is very crucial that we get through the entire session. Give me a MPF if I can expect your support in maintaining the flow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. And please understand, we are all dependent on an internet connection, and technology does not discriminate before it troubles you. All right. See, I'm on a professional setup here. I have a 1 GB line. I have a UPS in the back. I have a professional sound setup. So if you're experiencing any audio visual issues, just log off and log right back in, and that should clear it. That typically clears it. All right. And make sure you're also attending from a high-speed connection. All right. Excellent. And please note, this is not a boring presentation. I am not speaking at you. I am speaking with you. All right. So as you can see, I've been asking you a lot of questions, and I'm going to continue to ask you a lot of questions. And when I ask for your response, I expect your response. All right. So excellent. So with that, let me ask you this. Okay. Let me ask you this. What percentage of the Indian working population is dissatisfied with their jobs? Give me a percentage number in the chat box. What percentage is dissatisfied with their jobs? Wow. Deep is saying 90. Subramaniam is saying 70. Prashant is saying 60. Aditya is saying 76. Anusha is saying 20. Pankaj is saying 55. Ravi is saying 60. Shambhu is saying 80. Soni is saying 70. Shreya is saying 70. Pramod is saying 80. See, a lot of you are in the right ballpark. Okay, a lot of you are in the right ballpark. Correct. The number is 80%. 80%. 4 out of 5 working Indians are dissatisfied with their jobs. All right. And this is not just an India problem. This is even a global problem. Even the global number is between 70 to 80%. Now, can you tell me what is the number one reason that people are dissatisfied with their jobs? Tell me, in your opinion, what is the number one reason that people are dissatisfied with their jobs? I'm getting pay, boss, salary, money, pressure, bad boss, management, monetary, wrong place, lack of clarity, payout, no proper guidance, work pressure, no salaries, lacking in skills, not sufficient pay, don't do what they want, work environment, work-life balance, job security, job profile, working environment, salary, job role, pressure, trust on the organization, work culture, no appreciation, less salary, role and pay, underpaid, no growth, not right fit, immediate supervisor. See, these are all great answers, but let me tell you, the number one reason is bad relationships with your boss and your colleagues. The number one reason is bad relationships in the workplace. And please understand, it takes two to make a relationship. It takes two hands to clap. All right? And see, if there is something we value even more than money, then it is the quality of how we relate with people. Okay? This is actually a survey conducted by the Economic Times, and they do this once every 5 years. They survey more than 1 lakh people in tier 1 and tier 2 cities. And the second reason is the lack of growth opportunities. The company is not able to give you that career roadmap that you deserve. And the third reason is the salary reason. It's the package. It's the overall benefits and the salary that you receive. All right. So can I share a truth bomb with you? Give me a TB for truth bomb if I can share a truth bomb with you. Thank you. See, please understand this. People don't quit jobs. They quit the situation. People don't quit jobs, they quit the situation. लोग नौकरी नहीं छोड़ते, लोग हालात छोड़ देते हैं. Please understand that. And a situation could be anything. A situation could be a very unreasonable boss. How many of you have had the experience of working somebody who's very harsh and very unreasonable to work with? Give me an I in the comment box. Thank you. Or it could be a very political environment. People are more interested in understanding who said what to whom rather than focus on the work. Or, like I said, it could even be the lack of opportunities or even the lack of clarity. The pandemic certainly made it very difficult for many different businesses, to understand what their right next step is. And even though we live in the 21st century, even now, a lot of people, unfortunately have to face, inappropriate behavior in the workplace, especially women. So, people don't quit the job, they quit the situation. And let me tell you, people who come and attend my masterclass, they typically fall into one of a few buckets. So I just want to check with you if this sounds like you. All right. See, I'll tell you the number one reason people come and attend is because they feel underappreciated or under-recognized. And as social human beings, we all deserve a pat on the back, to build that motivation, that commitment, that drive. And I want you to understand, I've been in this position and it really steals the joy of your professional work life. So if you are underappreciated, please give me an A in the comment box. If you're not getting the credit for the value that you bring to your role, please give me an A in the comment box. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll tell you the second reason people come is because they are struggling financially. All right. And if you're struggling financially, I can tell you this will not allow you to connect with joy in any area of your life because it's a permanent ball of stress on your head. I've been in this position as well. I can tell you that, there was a time when my paycheck used to come in, and even before it came in, it was all gone. Car payment, house payment, fees, insurance, cable, cell phone, groceries, fuel, electricity, water, it was all gone. So give me a B in the comment box if you're struggling financially. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you so much. And I'll tell you the third reason that people come is because they are unemployed or they are about to be unemployed. Either they are looking for a job or they are living in fear that they are going to lose their job. And this is not a good state of mind to be in. See, please understand, the way hiring is happening is changing, okay? The way companies are hiring is changing. And if you don't know how to differentiate yourself, then it's going to be very difficult to get the right opportunities, all right? So how many people are looking for an opportunity? Give me a O for opportunity if you're looking for an opportunity. Thank you. Excellent. All right. And I'll tell you the fourth reason people come is because they are underemployed. They are not using their skills and their talents. They are not using their strengths in their everyday responsibilities. Their head and their heart is not connected to the game anymore. They've been given the kind of work that nobody else wants to do. They've been hired for their hands, not for their brains. If you can relate with this, please give me a D in the comment box. Thank you. Because again, this is passionless work, right? Excellent. And I'll tell you some things that I noticed during the pandemic. One, the world started to go virtual. The world started to go to a hybrid or a remote working model, and the commute was removed. And I can tell you that, the amount of time people were working drastically increased. The amount of time that people were working had really gone up. And a lot of people started to feel burnout. They started to feel overworked. Their mental health got impacted. So give me a B for burnout if you were overloaded with work. If you felt that the amount of work you had to do was just excessive. Thank you. I appreciate that. And because of this remote environment, because of people not being able to be together physically, I can tell you that, politics in organizations was also on the rise. And if politics has hurt your career, give me a P for politics. Because unfortunately, these power games get played in work environments, in the office. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll also tell you, a lot of people come because, they don't know how to tackle the job search and application process because they have some past problem in their career. Their age is rising. They feel they're a more senior professional and they will not get the right opportunities, or they have been fired and they don't know how to tackle that in an interview, or they've done a lot of job hopping and they can't explain that properly. So if there are any other reasons, then please give me a OT for other in the comment box if there are any other reasons. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. See, I'll tell you from a participant perspective, 38% of the people who attend, they are freshers. They are new in the workplace. All right. Give me a F for fresher if you're a fresher. Excellent. Then you'll have a lot to learn here. You'll have a lot to learn here because 38% of the people who attend are freshers. They have, less than 5 years of experience. They have somewhere between 0 to 5 years of experience. And then I'll tell you, 46%, almost half the room is in the middle stages of their career. So this is people between 5 to 20 years of experience. All right. They are in the middle stages of their career. And then 16% are senior leaders. These are people who have more than 20 years of experience, some even more than 25, some even more than 30 years of experience. Can you quickly tell me how many years of experience you have? I just want to get a sense of the room. If you could tell me how many years of experience you have. Wow. I'm getting 13, 11, 13, 2, 0, 8, 24, 12, 20, 13, 10, 14, 0, 19, 6, 17, 14, 33, 30, 22, 12. Excellent. So fairly typical room, right? And I can tell you again from a reason perspective, 42% attend because they are underappreciated or under-recognized. 33% feel underpaid. 21% are unemployed or they are about to be unemployed. They are looking for better opportunities. And then 4% are underemployed, right? Now, please understand, it does not matter what category you fall in. It does not matter if you're a B, a C, or a D. The problem is, it starts to feel like you have this invisible ceiling over your head that is limiting your career and your growth. Does it feel like that sometimes? Give me an F for feel if you're understanding this. Thank you. I appreciate that. See, the learnings that I'm going to share with you, they apply to both situations. So you could be in a situation where you are looking for a new job, okay? You're looking to move to a new industry or you're looking to switch careers, okay? Or you could be in a situation where you love the company that you work for, but for some reason your career has slowed down and you're looking for a promotion to supercharge your career. All right. So the knowledge that I will be sharing with you applies to both of these situations, whether you're looking for new opportunities or you're looking to get promoted. All right. How many people are looking for a new job and how many people are looking for a promotion? And how many people are looking for both? Give me a B for both if you're looking for both. Wow, we have a very ambitious room this morning. Excellent. Lovely to be here and welcome again. Excellent to have you here. All right. Please understand, the category that you fall into does not matter. Okay. It does not matter whether you're a B, a C, or a D. The real problem is that you don't understand the three secrets. You don't understand these three shifts that you need to make, because the way hiring is being done, the way you have to approach the job search and application journey is changing. All right. But for now, I just want you to understand that once you make these shifts, once you apply these three principles, you are going to live 3 times your lifestyle, because I'm going to show you how to rapidly and significantly increase your paycheck in multiples in less than 90 days. And you will be in your dream job and your dream career, because I'm going to show you how to target the company you want to work for and secure the offer. And when you begin to apply these three principles, please understand, you will become the go-to solutions person. Everyone will start looking at you. They will seek your input and your answers. All right. You will begin to emerge as a leader. And leaders get supported with the right resources. All right. Maybe people resources or time resources or financial resources. So over time, this is something that helps you restore your work-life balance. See, please understand, becoming successful is one part of the game. Okay, becoming successful is one part of the game, but being able to sustain that success and grow from that success is an entirely different ball game, and you have to learn how to master both. Are you understanding this? Give me a you for understanding if you're understanding this. Thank you. And see, please understand, when you apply these three principles, it will create an acceleration in your career that you have not known before. And very critically, you will come to realize that the invisible ceiling that you thought was hanging over your head was never really there. Now, we are going to be spending a little bit of time together today. So, how many people have heard me before and how many people are listening to me for the first time? Give me a B for before and give me a 1 for the first time. Excellent. So a lot of new faces today. Lovely to have you here. Welcome once again. Can I just take a couple of minutes to introduce who I am and why I'm qualified to help you? Just a short. May I have your permission? Please give me a P for permission if I may. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. See, my name is Sawan Kapoor and I'm India's leading career coach. And when I applied this system to my own career, I achieved a salary of 50 lakh rupees per month. And then I was able to grow it in multiples from there. And when I applied this system in my own career, I went from an entry-level position to the position of CEO in a short 8 years. And I can tell you that, the Consumer Goods Conference gave me their Outstanding Achievement Award. This was back in 2011. So, that's a pretty good thing to have. It's always nice to be recognized for your hard work and, for your contributions. And I can tell you that I am known as the career guy. I help clients achieve a 3x on their salaries by teaching them a scientific method to uncover and then deliver irresistible value for their employers and their target employers. Now, please understand, you're going to have to give value first. You're going to have to generate and give value first before that value comes back to you. Give me a G for give if you're understanding this. Pehle dena padega, tabhi wo wapas aayega. Yes, it's a fundamental law, right? You have to first give before it comes back to you, right? And lastly, I can tell you that, I help clients differentiate themselves in the eyes of potential employers, and I teach them how to target any job and secure the offer. But please understand, I don't have any magic wand. मेरे पास कोई जादू की छड़ी नहीं है. A lot of what I'm going to tell you is going to be common sense, but a lot of what I'm going to tell you is going to be the dead opposite, the exact opposite of the beliefs that you hold to be true about the job search and application journey. Because please appreciate, it was not always like this for me. When I first went over to the States as a student, I can tell you it was tough. I had 3 jobs. I was working in the student cafeteria, I was working in the computer library, and in the summer vacations, I used to drive this bread truck. I used to drive this bread truck to deliver bread and baked goods to supermarkets and schools and hospitals. That's how I used to pay my rent. And in the last semester of college, up until the 10th of September, I was a really happy guy. And I remember I had gone out with my friends celebrating for dinner. That's a much younger me on your screen there. I had a lot more hair on my head in that photograph. But the reason I had gone out celebrating is because, I had been interviewing. It was the last semester I was about to graduate. and I had been interviewing, and I had received 8 job offers. So I was really in a position where I could choose the company that I wanted to work for. And I remember the next morning I woke up and I was in a rush to get to my classes. So I quickly went down to the cafeteria to eat my breakfast. And I was watching the television on the wall in front. And this is what I saw. The next day was September 11th. How many of you remember exactly where you were when you heard this news? Give me an R for remember. If you remember exactly where you were when you heard this news. Thank you. And see, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to understand I had nothing to do with these attacks. I had no role to play in these attacks. And yet this was an event that impacted me so hugely, because all of the job offers that I had, they were all cancelled. They were all taken back. All of the job offers that I had, they were cancelled. And very similarly, please understand, you have nothing to do with the pandemic that we have seen. You are not the reason behind the pandemic. And yet so many people and so many families have faced so much of challenge and difficulty. Give me a CD for challenge and difficulty if the last 2.5 years have been challenging and difficult for you personally. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. See, at the time, I was on a student visa. And I can tell you that, at the end of your education, you get this 1-year period. When you complete your education, you get this 1-year period where you can work for any company. And in the confusion of the week of 9/11, my university forgot to apply for this. So now I had 2 problems. One, I did not have any job offers. And 2, I would not even get this 1-year grace period. So I felt very depressed. And, I started withdrawing, and I was just in my room feeling upset and helpless about this. And after 2 weeks of feeling this way, I realized that if I don't get up and do something, nothing is going to change. But I felt alone. I didn't know what to do. So I started reaching out to everybody that I knew. I started reaching out to every college professor. I started reaching out to every career counselor on campus. I started to reach out to everybody in my network, hoping that somebody will be able to guide me in the right direction. But please understand, at that time, it was very difficult, for a brown color student to even get an interview. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just telling you this was the reality of the situation. It was really difficult to even get an interview if you were brown color skin. And after 2 months of feeling helpless with great difficulty, one of my professors helped me get an interview. And I was very grateful for the opportunity, but I was also very nervous. But I think God was with me that day. I went for the interview and I had a great interview. And they called me back for a second round. And I had an even better second round interview. And 2 weeks before I graduated, they made me a job offer. This company by the name of Damon Worldwide hired me. And I was very grateful to this company because to hire me, they had to sponsor me for a work visa. And this is not easy to get. There is a very, structured process to be able to get it. And it also costs a lot of money. I was so grateful to them because they made the effort and invested in this process to hire me. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to understand what I learned from this experience. How many of you want to learn how to come out of situations where you don't have the control? Give me an L for learn if you want to learn how to come out of situations where you don't have the control. Thank you. See, I brought it down to a simple formula and I want you to understand this. The formula is E plus R equals O. Please understand this. E plus R equals O. See here, E stands for the event. And the events that happen to you in your life are not in your control. Problems don't ask for your permission before they show up in your life. मुश्किलें आपकी अनुमति मांग करके आपके जीवन में नहीं आती. So you don't control the event. You only control the response. Please understand that. So it is very important to learn how to look at the situation and identify the correct response and then apply it. Because only when you add the correct response to the situation will you be able to change the outcome to be positive for you. Is this making sense? Give me a MS for making sense if you're understanding this. Because, see, please understand, another way of saying this is you have to take 100% responsibility for your career and even for your life. And see, the entire purpose behind today's masterclass is that I want people with good intentions. I want people with good intentions to be wealthy. अगर आपकी अच्छी नियत है, I want you to be rich. I want you to make a lot of money, but that should not come at the cost of your freedom. It should not come at the cost of your health or your family relationships. And if you remember, when we first started, I asked you the question, if you don't have meaningful work, it's impossible to be happy. So if you're not in a job where you're truly having an impact, you're not going to be happy. This is the entire purpose behind the masterclass today, so that you can achieve a great income, have the work-life balance, and also experience the professional fulfillment. And I will tell you, please take a minute and get connected with me. You can connect with me on Instagram. You can connect with me. My handle is @Sawan.Kapoor. All right. Or if you prefer connecting with me on LinkedIn, I'll put in my LinkedIn here in the chat box. I put it in the chat box. You can click on that link and you can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. Take a minute, because I work dedicatedly in this career space. So I talk a lot about career related issues. All right, how to choose the right job, how to fix the wrong career, how to get jobs abroad, how to tackle workplace politics, how to negotiate salary, how to be able to interview more effectively, what is the journey to senior leadership going to look like, how do you switch industries or functions. So please take a minute and get connected with me. I would love to have you in my network. Excellent. And I hope everybody received their free gifts for signing up as well. Give me a R for received if you have received your free gift, and give me a NR for not received if you have not received the free gifts. Because there are 8 bonuses. There are 8 bonuses, correct, that you are going to get. Correct. 5 you get first, and then 3 you get after you attend. Correct. Right. But if you have not received it, no problem. I will give you the link at the end today. I owe this to you. So at the end of the session today, again, I will give you the link so that you can download these. See, these are very effective bonuses, and this will help you understand, for freshers, how to choose the right career, and for middle stage managers, if they are in the wrong job or the wrong career, how to fix those problems. Those of you who are interested in international opportunities, how to get jobs abroad, and how to tackle workplace politics. And a lot of people want to switch careers. So there is a method and a planning that goes into switching. Please understand that. So this will explain all of those fundamental basics to you, as well as how to interview and negotiate salary and how to walk that path to leadership roles. So if you have not received this, I will give you the link again at the end of the session today, so that you can download all of these. All right, I owe that to you. So are you ready to get into the 3 secrets? Give me a 3 if you're ready to get into the 3 secrets. Excellent. Please give me your full attention. Excellent. See, the first secret is called finding the right fit. See, career superstars understand that they cannot solve every problem. Okay? They are unique individuals and they have specific skills. They can only solve certain problems. They cannot fit into every puzzle. All right. And I can tell you, very early on in my career, I came to realize that every company, okay, listen to this carefully, every company in every industry, in every single business function, across every level of experience has some unique needs. हर कंपनी, हर क्षेत्र और उद्योग में, हर बिजनेस फंक्शन में और हर लेवल ऑफ तजुर्बे पे उनकी कुछ अनोखी जरूरतें होती हैं. In every industry, every company, every business function, and at every level of experience, companies have some unique needs. And this word needs is an acronym. It stands for new emergencies and existing difficulties to be solved. Now, see, there are two types of needs. All right. There are ordinary needs and then there are extraordinary needs. Ordinary needs are the needs that you find on the job description. Okay. Ordinary needs are the needs that you find on a job description. Extraordinary needs are the needs that go beyond the job description. Okay. Extraordinary needs are the needs that go beyond the job description. And when your speak begins to overlap with these extraordinary needs, that is where the magic of rapid increases to your salary happens. See, speak was a concept that I explained right at the beginning. So for those of you who have come a little late, I am going to repeat this again. All right. See, your speak is your skills, your talents, your education, your experiences, your knowledge, and your qualities. This is the sum total of your personal and professional development up until today. And when your speak overlaps with these extraordinary needs, the needs that go beyond the job description, that is where the magic of rapid and significant increases to your salary begins to take birth, begins to take shape. See, you have to think of yourself as a key, as a chabi, okay? Now, as a key, you cannot open every lock, but there are some locks that only you can best open, all right? But this is not the complete picture. There is one more element, and that's a very critical element. And that element is called wants. Now, this word wants is also an acronym, WANTS. What aspects are needed to be successful? Now, please understand, by using the word wants, I am referring to the soft cultural factors that you require in a company for you to make a good personality fit. See, if your value system and the company's value system is in alignment, then you will get a much more supportive environment to work in. But if there is no talmel, if there is no alignment between your value system and the company's value system, you will keep running into dead ends. The culture of the company may prevent you from being able to operate at your best level. How many of you have experienced that? Give me a key for experience if you've experienced where the culture of a company stops you. Thank you. Yes, it's a very common problem. A lot of working professionals experience this. And see, very early on in my career, I knew what I was looking for in the culture of a company. Can you guess what was the number one factor that I was looking for in the culture of a company? Tell me in the chat box. What do you think was the number one factor I was looking for in the culture of a company? I'm getting growth, I'm getting value system, openness, authority, respect, support, passion, unbiased, equality, appreciation, openness, respect, transparency, collaboration, working environment, company needs, innovation, no politics, teamwork, integrity and values, no politics, work-life balance, support, empowerment, mutual respect, appreciation, transparency, integrity, employee-centric, encourage learning. See, these are excellent factors. I can tell that I'm speaking to a very developed room of working professionals. But let me tell you, the number one factor that I was looking for was an enthusiastic work environment. I was looking for enthusiasm. See, I was living away from my family, right? So the काम का जोश और उत्साह, काम का मजा आना चाहिए, right? Now see, this enthusiasm is different from excitement, because excitement will take you high, but it will also make you crash down. Enthusiasm is something you can feel over a longer period of time. Okay, it's a much more sustainable feeling. You're only enthused when you feel like you're on a mission, when you're working on something that truly challenges you, that you're connected with. Okay, right. Can I share a truth bomb with you? Give me a TB for truth bomb if I can share this with you. Thank you. See, please understand, without enthusiasm, it is impossible to do meaningful work. We only develop meaning in our work, correct, when we feel that what we are working on is bigger than us, when it challenges us, when we are valued, when we are trusted, when we are respected, when we are made to feel included. That is where our enthusiasm wakes up. And please understand, without meaningful work, it is impossible to develop a commitment. We only develop meaning with things that have some weight in our lives, which वजन होता है उन चीजों का हमारे जीवन में. That is where we develop meaning. Only then does it turn into a commitment. Because please appreciate, a commitment will keep you going even when things become challenging. And if you don't build a commitment, then you won't achieve excellence. Fundamentally, to excel at anything, you have to fully commit to it. Are you understanding this? Give me a U for understanding if you're connecting with this. Thank you. So I'm going to share my list of wants with you. Okay. I'm going to share what I was looking for in the culture of a company. I'm going to share that with you because I really want you to understand the importance of the cultural environment of a company. Now, please appreciate, when you look at my list, please ask yourself 3 questions. Ask yourself what factors also apply to you, what factors don't apply to you, and what other factors do you require that are not on my list. Because please understand, you are a unique individual. You are different from everybody else in this room. Okay? You are a unique individual. Okay? And the culture that you are going to require is going to be different. Okay? It will also have to accommodate who you are as an individual. So with that, let me share this with you. See, as I told you, the number 1 factor I was looking for was an enthusiastic environment. Okay? The second factor that I was looking for was a differentiated platform. And let me tell you what that means. If my work is different and better than others, then my rewards should also be different and better than others. Is that fair? Give me a F for fair if you feel that is fair. अगर मेरा काम औरों से बेहतर है, तो मेरा इनाम भी औरों से बेहतर होना चाहिए. Right? Because in a lot of companies, what happens is, there is no limit on the value you're supposed to create, but there is a limit on the value that you get. Or in many companies, the discussion about your contributions is postponed to the next year. Does that happen? Give me an H for happen if you can connect with this. Thank you. So I was looking for a differentiated platform. Rewarding great performance should not be a new behavior for the company. The third factor that I was looking for was the sense of ownership. And let me tell you what this means. I wanted to work for a company that gives me the power and the authority to take decisions. And if they give me that authority to take decisions, that means they'll also hold me accountable for those decisions. And that's fine. But if you really think about it, that means it should be okay to fail sometimes. Because you cannot hit a sixer on every ball. आप हर बॉल पे छक्का तो नहीं मार सकते. Every single decision you take will not be right, right? Because failure is ultimately a learning opportunity. And I wanted to work for a company where they can differentiate between the human being and the failing event. All right? See, the ability to take good decisions comes from experience. And experience comes from taking bad decisions. And as an employee, I understood that, I should not fail at the same thing twice. I must have the capacity to learn from my mistakes. That is what I meant by having a sense of ownership, where I can take decisions and I can learn and grow as a manager. I can grow as a professional employee in that role. And the fourth thing that I was looking for was access to the CEO. Now, this was for very specific reasons. See, I was very ambitious, and at some point in my career, I wanted to become a CEO. And I did not want to learn about how a CEO operates by reading books. I did not want to learn this theoretically. I wanted to see the person in the hot seat. I wanted to see how does a CEO build a team? How do they define strategy? How do they deal with difficult market conditions? So, I wanted to observe this process live. And also, I wanted to be able to have some small contribution at that level. Because I know all of the very important decisions are made at that senior level. And I'll tell you the fifth factor on my list was I wanted cross-functional work. Now, please understand this. I wanted cross-functional responsibilities because I fundamentally believe that an organization is like a watch. An organization is like a watch, like a ghadi. And there are many moving parts inside a watch. All of these moving parts have to work together to give you the correct time. And it's very much like an organization, like a company, because there are many departments inside a company. And all of these departments have to coordinate together. They have to work with each other for the organization to produce excellent results. And when you work in a cross-functional capacity, your ability to understand how the work of one area impacts another area is much superior. You develop a much stronger empathy, a much more sincere and deeper understanding of how the work of one area affects another area. Because otherwise, a lot of companies, they keep playing the blame game between their departments. How many of you are smiling right now? Give me a S for smiling if you're smiling. Because if you're smiling, you know this blame game. How companies play the blame game. You should have done it. No, you should have done it. Right? Yes, it happens at work a lot. That's right. And I'll tell you the sixth factor that I was looking for was project-based work. And let me tell you what this means. This is the kind of work that will take a lot of effort, but it also produces huge results. It produces big benefits. So naturally, this is the type of work that will not get solved overnight. This type of work that you can finish in a week or a month. This is the kind of work that will take 6-8 months or even longer for you to create results. But if this is the kind of opportunities and challenges that you're working on, this is some of the most important things to an organization. If you are able to produce results or produce value working on such opportunities and such challenges, then you have been able to align yourself with the most critical aspects faced by the company. And that is where the rewards that will flow back to you will also be big. And I'll tell you the seventh factor on my list was I wanted to work for a small to medium enterprise. I wanted to work for a SME. I did not want to work for a very large company. And I would prefer if it's a family business because my own background was from a family business. And I'll tell you the eighth factor on my list was I wanted the opportunity to build teams. See, please understand, we don't do anything alone. Our ability to get great work out of others, out of other people is one of the defining characteristics of leadership. Okay? The ability to identify the right individual, the right talent, the ability to hire them, the ability to train them for their job and groom them in the culture of the company, and the providing them the opportunities to grow their career and then be able to also retain them. This is what leaders do. See, I get a lot of questions from people about, sir, should I do an MBA Should I do a course on artificial intelligence? Should I do a course on data science? I get a lot of questions like this. And I want you to understand, I'm not trying to take away from the value of education, but I want you to understand this. After a certain point, it is not going to be your education that is going to drive your career progress. After a certain point, there are two factors that are going to drive your career progress. The first factor is getting great work out of other people, learning how to build and lead teams. That's the first factor. The second factor is understanding the core of your responsibilities that are most deeply connected with the financial statements of the company. Those core responsibilities that you cannot outsource or delegate, that you have to master because they have the biggest impact on the financial statements of the company. And I'll tell you, a lot of people in India, a lot of working professionals in our country, they keep living in this bubble where they feel it's the next certification or the next degree that will drive their value. I don't want to take away from the value of education, but please understand these two factors are going to be much more important in your career journey than any piece of paper or any degree. The first factor, as I said, was your ability to get great work out of other people. That's the first factor. And the second factor is understanding those core responsibilities that are most deeply connected with the financial statements of the company. And see, I told you that these factors depend on your unique personality, on your individual nature, and you are different from everybody else in this room. Can I give you an example of this? Give me an E for example if I can give you an example of this. Thank you. See, please understand, this is Hari. And Hari was working in the real estate sector. He was working for this builder and land developer company. And this is a phenomenal company to work for. This is a great company to work for. And Hari is a good man. Hari is a good person. The problem was he was not a good fit in their culture. He was not a good fit in their culture. He used to go to office and he used to hang down his head and say, one more day I have to suffer through this. Ek din aur jhelna padega. How many of you can relate with that feeling? Give me an R for relate if you can relate with that feeling. See, I can tell you at that time, he had about 7 years of experience and his salary was 8 lakhs. And because he was tired of working in that culture that did not fit, it did not fit with who he is, that is where he engaged with me. And I can tell you that within 90 days, in less than 90 days, he found the right opportunity for himself. And I can tell you, his salary jumped from 8 lakhs to 26 lakhs. Now, please understand, this does not happen by magic. This does not happen by magic. This is the outcome of tremendous focus and hard work. See, please understand this. I make this comparison between the job industry and the diamond industry. मैं ये तुलना करता हूँ job market और diamond market की comparison करता हूँ. All right. See, these super premium jobs, these jobs that will pay you a 2x or a 3x or more, these super premium jobs, these jobs are rare. Like diamonds are rare, these jobs are also rare. But all types of diamonds are not rare. All types of diamonds are not rare. If you look at clear, colorless diamonds, if you look at ordinary diamonds, these are not really rare. Last year, more than 14 crore carats were mined. These clear, colorless diamonds are like standard jobs. There are many. But if you look at colored diamonds, these colored diamonds are rare. These are like those premium jobs. Those jobs that will pay you significantly higher. But there is one color of diamond that is the rarest of them all. Who is going to tell me which is the rarest colored diamond of them all? Tell me in the chat box. Rahul Sharma has the right answer. Jaya L has the right answer. Rajkumar Mishra has the right answer. Ramesh Jadhav has the right answer. Arjun S has the right answer. Gurpreet Singh has the right answer. Gayatri Kavre has the right answer. Shantanu Shinde has the right answer. Rahul Dayal has the right answer. Shrikant has the right answer. Chinmay Parab has the right answer. Puneet Misra has the right answer. Soumya Subra has the right answer. Wow, a lot of you know your diamonds, huh? That's right. It's the red diamond. The red diamond is the rarest diamond of them all. This red diamond is your dream job. Your dream job is known as your red diamond job. It is that ideal job, that perfect job for you. Your dream job is known as that red diamond job. Now, this job is rare, but please understand this. It is not rare because it does not exist. It is rare because you don't know where to look for it. And you don't have the tools to dig it out. Because this is not something that is taught in the formal system of education. See, because in reality, there are many red diamond job opportunities waiting for you. वास्तव में कई ऐसी opportunities हैं जो आपका इंतजार कर रही हैं. Because please understand, your red diamond lives at the center of these three circles. Are you learning something? Give me a L for learning if you're learning something. Thank you. So please understand, achieving this alignment of the three circles, this is not easy. Achieving this alignment is not easy. Your thoughts and your actions, your behavior have to be the same. You have to be a very congruent individual. You have to be a very genuine, very authentic, very real and sincere person. Please understand the depth of this. The way you think and the way you act must be in alignment. जैसे आप सोचते हैं और जैसे आप करते हैं उसमें तालमेल होना चाहिए. Can I share a truth bomb with you? Give me a TB for truth bomb if I can share this with you. Thank you. See, this will shock you a little bit, but it's very important you take it in the right way. All right? See, please understand, your career is like a mirror. And a mirror can only show you the original that you are in the first place. A mirror can only show you the reality. Because please understand, there is a relationship between cause and effect. There is a relationship between cause and effect. And it applies to everyone. हर नतीजे के पीछे एक वजह होती है. All right? This applies to everyone. Because you are experiencing a reality in your career. Okay? If you are experiencing some issue in your career, that is your reality. And you cannot argue with your reality. Because if you argue with your reality, you will lose 100% of the time. अगर आप अपनी हकीकत से बहस करेंगे, तो आप ही हारेंगे. See, the point of this, okay, is to understand that if you are able to create the alignment of the three circles, then you will go on to have an amazing career. But if you don't learn how to create the alignment of the three circles, you will keep running into dead ends. You will not even fully understand why you're not progressing in your career. Because the bottom line is that you attract the type of opportunity that you are. Please understand this. You don't get what you desire. You get who you become. Are you understanding this? Give me a U for understanding if you're understanding this. Because that is why I'm telling you, see, please appreciate, this is not for everyone. This is not for everyone. Because if you are not fundamentally good at what you do, then I simply cannot help you. Because this is not a get-rich-quick program. This will take hard work. Are you willing to put in the blood, sweat, and tears? Give me a BST for blood, sweat, and tears if you're willing to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. Because without that, it's not going to work. Without that, it's not going to work. Because I cannot promote fake expertise. Nobody can. Success has very solid legs. सफलता की बहुत मजबूत टांगे होती हैं, right? And the example that I've shared with you and that I will be sharing with you, these are all people who put in that hard work to earn these results. See, the point that I'm trying to make is that your steak must be able to solve major problems. You must be able to solve big issues and big opportunities. So what does that mean? That means if you work in any of the major industries, you work in oil and gas or renewable energy or healthcare and pharmaceuticals or media and entertainment or banking and professional services or information technology or IT services, BPO, KPO, aviation, hospitality, education, academics. If you work in any of the major industries, then yes, it will work for you. Or if you work in any of the major functions, you work in sales or marketing or operations, or you work in human resources, accounts, finance, supply chain, customer service, legal, administrative, public relations, corporate affairs, information technology. If you work in any of these major functions, then yes, it will work for you. See, please understand, I hope you've been able to connect with the concept of the red diamond. My question to you is, how many of you want to make it your reality? Give me an R for reality if you want to make it your reality. See, if you want to make it your reality, I'm going to share the second secret with you. Because this is where we are going to go behind the scenes. I'm going to give you an inside look. To make your red diamond job your reality, you are going to have to follow this model called the SPT model. This SPT stands for suspects, prospects, and targets. Now, please understand this. To follow this model, you have to take this journey. And you take this journey by starting with a list of suspect companies. Now, please understand this. Suspect companies are companies that you feel will give you an environment where your steak matches their needs. This is simply you making a list of companies where you feel that your steak will match the needs of the company, those extraordinary needs of the company. And when I first made this list for myself almost 18 years ago, I had 16 companies on my list of suspects. But then I actually wanted to be sure that there is truly a match between my steak and their needs. And to be absolutely sure, I had to take these companies through this hard data research process. I had to take them through this hard data research process to be sure if there really is a match between my steak and their needs. And the companies that came out of this process, the companies that emerged from this process are companies that I called prospects. Now, the reason I call them prospects is because after conducting this research, I knew that with some companies, there is a very strong match. But with some companies, there is a very weak match. 10 companies, the match was very weak. So I was able to remove 10 companies from that process. Only with 6 companies was there a strong match between my steak and their needs. And then I took these 6 prospect companies and I took them through a second type of research. That second type of research is called soft data research. Now, this soft data research is where you're trying to learn the culture of a company as an outsider. There is a process to this. You're trying to learn the culture of a company as an outsider before you start working for them. Because only when you take companies through this soft data research can you truly understand which companies are your targets. These targets are the companies that are at the center of the 3 circles. Okay? And please appreciate, this is a broad to narrow process. Give me a B to N if you're understanding this is a broad to narrow process. Thank you. Now, see, so I started with a list of 16 suspect companies. I took them through a process called hard data research. And that is where I came to understand that there are 6 prospect companies that I truly match up with. And then I took these prospect companies and I took them through a process called soft data research, which left me with 4 companies that were my true targets, where my speak matched their needs and their environment was also suited to who I was as an individual. So I bet the question in your mind is, how do you conduct hard data and soft data research? Yes, give me a Y for yes, if that's the question in your mind. Can I give you an overview? Give me a O for overview if I can give you an overview of what this hard data and soft data process looks like. Thank you. I'll share this with you. See, please understand this. Please understand this. I took my list of suspect companies and I took them through this process of hard data research. And in hard data research, I took them through 5 types of research. Now, please understand this hard data. Yes, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Zaubakor, the Insta Financials, there are many sources where it is available to you, right? And the reason you look at their financial statements, is because numbers don't lie. When you look at the numbers, you are not dependent on the opinion of the market, of others. So please understand this. Mahendra, it is easily available for partnership and proprietorship forms. I do this every day. So please understand that. Right. And then I also looked at industry research, because many times there can be factors at the industry level that can help an organization maximize its profitable market share. And I also wanted to understand how the company fits in the industry and what is the future of the industry like. Okay, what is the future of the industry like? Not to worry, I will give you the sources of where the financial statements are available. Not to worry, I will tell you where the sources are available. Is that okay? Give me a okay. I will give that information to you. Please don't worry. Right. All right. Okay. And then in addition to industry research, I also looked at their credit rating. What is the number one factor that a company will require if it has an opportunity to scale up? What is the number one factor that a company will require if it has an opportunity to scale up? Tell me. Vaibhav has the right answer. Hitesh has the right answer. Chidambaram is on the right track. Sayyam has the right answer. Anirudh has the right answer. Alok has the right answer. Manikandan is on the right track. Sunil is on the right track. Ratnakar has the right answer. Akshay is on the right track. Anish has got the right answer. Arjun has the right answer. Correct. Exactly. Capital, funding, the number one. Even before people, it requires the money to hire the people. So, how many of you are familiar with your own CIBIL score? Give me a C for CIBIL if you are familiar with your own CIBIL score. See, your CIBIL score is a representation of your credit worthiness, the level of default risk associated with you. Just like how you have a CIBIL score, every business has a CRISIL score. Okay? Every business has a CRISIL score. And please understand this. That is a representation of the risk level associated with a business. Bankers and lending institutions will look at this before giving a business a loan or money. And then I also looked at their market data. What was the feedback of the people who were using the product or service? What were the market factors? What were their distribution gaps? What was their brand positioning? What was their pricing strategy? I looked at all of these factors. And then lastly, I did some competitive research, because only when you benchmark the organization with the best players in the industry do you truly understand what changes are required for the company to maximize its profitable market share. Now, please understand, this data is available. The challenge is collecting it and organizing it. The challenge is turning the data into insight. So I was doing this so often that I had no choice but to build it as a system. So when I built it as a system, I was able to take these 16 companies through this process in less than 2 days. I was able to take 16 companies through this process of hard data research in less than 2 days. And that is where I was able to narrow this down from 16 suspects to 6 prospects. And then I took these prospect companies and I took them through a second type of research called soft data research. Now, this soft data research is private information. This is behind the scenes information. It is not easy to get this information. Unless you have the context of how to obtain this information, you're not going to get this information. Because the challenge here is obtaining the information and then interpreting it for all of the rich insight. Because the kind of information that you're looking for is how well do their teams work together? Are the KPIs mapped? Is there clarity around the goals? Do they have the right strategy? Are they executing properly? And you also want to understand who are the decision makers, who are the right people to contact. Because you want to contact people who have the authority and the power to give you the job. They can say yes to you as a candidate. And then you want to have deep interaction with the employees of the company. You want to have deep interaction with the employees of the company. Because you want to understand the true culture of an organization. See, a job description on paper versus a job description in reality can be two very different things. Do you agree? Give me an A for agree if you agree with this. A job description on paper versus a job description in reality can be two entirely different things. Thank you. So you want to have this deep interaction, and you can only have this interaction if you know how to build the right context. And I will show you that a little later. And then also you want to understand the management style of the company. See, I had a list of 8 wants, 8 factors that I was looking for in the culture of a company. Do you remember my list of 8 wants? Give me an 8 in the comment box if you remember my list of 8 wants. So I was looking for all of these things. I was looking for an enthusiastic environment, a differentiated platform, a sense of ownership, regular access to the CEO, cross-functional work, project-based work, wanting to work for a family business or a small to medium enterprise, and wanting the opportunity to learn how to build teams. So I was looking for a very specific type of a cultural environment. And then I also wanted to understand who are the leaders, because the leaders really set the tone for the company. Do they walk the talk? Because please understand this, if you don't appreciate what the soldier goes through in the battlefield, then you will not make a good general. Are you understanding this? Give me a U for understanding if you're understanding this. If you don't appreciate what the soldier goes through in the battlefield, the bullet, the bombs, the landmines, the bad weather, the harsh conditions, then you will not make a good general. And please understand, when I built it as a system, that is where I was able to take my suspects to prospects and then my prospects down to targets. See, the bottom line here is that I created this as a system to allow me to take companies from suspects to prospects to targets in a quick and efficient manner. And I can tell you, my students today are able to run this process in less than 4 hours. Are you understanding the power of this system? Give me a P for power if you're understanding and connecting with the power of the system. Because it allows you to only consider opportunities where you will actually be successful. And see, I'll tell you why I built it. See, the first company that I worked for, as I told you, was this company called Damon Worldwide. And I loved working for this company. I was with them for, about 5 years. I loved working for this company. The culture was excellent. The culture was phenomenal. But the problem here was that the increments and the raises that I was getting, they were not up to my satisfaction. My ambition was greater than the rewards that I was getting. Because this was a large company, 45,000 people. And I can tell you, there was a lot of corporate governance. The culture was amazing, but my ambitions were greater than the reward that the company was able to give me. How many of you can relate with that? Give me an R for relate if you can relate with that. Thank you. And I was willing to put in the hard work and produce the results. In fact, I'll tell you, my performance was excellent. My problem was with the raises and the increments that I was getting. See, I had gone on to become the number one guy in sales in the company. And in my division alone, there were more than 1,500 sales managers. And in the whole company, there were more than 22,000 people in sales. I'm not talking about the top 10% or the top 1%. I'm talking about the top 0.1%. So my performance was strong, very, very good. They used to look at two factors: sales per payroll hour and sales per $1,000 of salary paid. And that used to create a ranking. I was number one on that ranking. But the promotions and the increments that I was getting were governed by a system. Now, in the first year, this was okay. I was new, I was learning. First year, fine. But in the second year, it started to bother me. And by the third year, it was really bothering. So in the third year, I went to my boss and I had a conversation. I told him, I feel I deserve much more. And he told me, Sawan, you're young. There's going to be a lot of opportunity in the future. Please understand, the system is not going to change for one person. And then I even went to my boss's boss. And my boss's boss very politely told me, Sawan, please understand, everybody is replaceable. It was a very polite way of telling me that you need to stop talking now. So by the fourth year, I was disturbed. My red diamond was becoming a red light. See, please understand this. It was at that time that I came to realize that I truly have three options. Because see, I was putting in all of my time into my work. But I was not making the kind of reward, I was not making the kind of money that I wanted to make. And this is what was impacting my interest. And it was causing a lot of stress and tension. And, stress is like a character certificate. When you grow up, you're supposed to have stress. Bhaiya, bade ho gaye ho, ab stress to banta hai. How many of you are smiling right now? Give me a S for smiling if you're smiling right now. Right? But, the truth is, please understand, nobody enjoys that unnecessary tension, because it impacts the quality of your life. So I did not enjoy feeling this way. And I can tell you that, it was at this point that I realized that, I truly only have three options. And my options were: one, I must accept the situation. Two, I must speak up. And I had spoken up. I had spoken to my boss. I had spoken to my boss's boss. See, I'm not saying you should quit your job. If you have an opportunity to talk about your problems, to get your situation addressed, then you must take that opportunity. That was my second option. My third option was to start looking for another job. So which option do you think did I take? Did I take the first option, the second option, or the third option? Tell me. Most of you are giving the correct answer. See, I could not take the first option because that would mean that I am living in denial, and that is just not my personality. And I had used the second option, but there was a limit to how much I could speak. There was a limit to how much I could talk. So I came to understand that the smart thing for me to do is to look for another opportunity while I have the salary from my current job. And see, I call this the principle of dynamic acceptance. I call this the principle of dynamic acceptance. What this means is, whenever in life you are faced with a difficult decision, these are your only three options. If you cannot change it, you have to accept it. Accept what you cannot change. Accept the unchangeable. Change the changeable. If you can change it, work on changing it. And if it is not acceptable to you, remove yourself from that situation. Are you learning something? Give me a L for learning if you're learning something. So at that point, I decided I'm going to start looking for another job. And at this time, I did not use my SPT model. नई नौकरी की तलाश में अभी मैंने SPT मॉडल का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया था. Okay? I started looking for a new job just how everybody looks for a new job. So when you start looking for a new job, where do you start your search? Tell me in the chat box. Where do you start your search? You go to naukri.com or linkedin.com or you go to monster.com, like job portals online, correct? Or you speak with your network, people you trust, your family, your friends, maybe some of your colleagues, right? So I also did the same. I started looking primarily online for new opportunities and I spoke to some people that I trusted, right? So it took me about 2.5 months. It took me about 2.5 months to find the right opportunity. And then it took me another 1.5 months to go through their interviewing process. First interview, second interview, third interview. So it took some time for me to secure the offer. It took me about 3.5, 4 months to secure the offer. Now, when I took the new job, I can tell you I experienced a big jump in salary. That was my problem at Damon. I was not getting the salary I wanted, so I was chasing a higher salary. So when I took the new job, I got a big jump in salary. How many of you have experienced that when you change jobs, you get a bigger jump in salary? Give me an E for experience if you've experienced that. Thank you. See, my question to you is that a sustainable way to increase your salary? Yes or no? Is that a sustainable way? You are correct. That is not the most sustainable way. See, maybe you can do it once or twice or maximum maybe 3 times in your career, but it is not a sustainable way. Because if you do a lot of job hopping, if you're changing roles every 2 to 3 years, then please understand, it will create a pattern on your resume. Give me a P for pattern if you're understanding this. It will create a pattern on your resume. Your loyalty and your commitment will begin to get questioned in interviews. See, you cannot keep uprooting a tree and replanting it every 2 to 3 years and expect it to bear fruit faster. So, I got this new job, salary went up, but only after I got the job did I realize that this is not the right culture for me. This is not the right culture for me. यहाँ पे दाल नहीं गलेगी. And I'll tell you, I had been working for less than 6 months in this company. This company's name was Total Wine and More. I had been working there less than 6 months. One day I came into work and I saw this note on my desk. It was in my boss's handwriting. It said, "Come see me." And, I used to get to work pretty early. I used to get to work at about 7:15 in the morning. And, the work day there starts at 8 a.m. And I would get there at 7:15 in the morning, 7:15 in the morning. There used to be a McDonald's below my office. So I used to always go there and buy a cup of coffee. So I got my coffee and then I went up to my desk and I saw this note. So I picked up the note and I went to my boss's office. Her office was just around the corner. So I went to her office, knocked on the door, opened the door. I greeted her a good morning. And the way she looked back at me, it was like an alarm, like something was not right. And I stepped into her office, and the first words out of her mouth were, Sawan, this is not working. I'm sorry, but your services are no longer required. Like this. It took them less than 5 seconds to tell me bye-bye, that I've been fired. And I can tell you, I don't know if anybody here has been through an experience like that, but I want you to understand, when you go through this, you don't even know what is the right thing to do. What is the next step that you should take? It's like somebody has hit you in the head with a cricket bat. I mean, I can tell you, it took 2-3 days for my emotions to settle down. I mean, what do I tell my family? How do I run my life? And it was only after 2 or 3 days, once my emotions, settled down, that I came to realize something really important. I came to realize that if you are not working in a culture that is aligned with your values, you're going to land up wasting a lot of time. It does not matter how intelligent or how loyal or even how hardworking you are. If you're not assimilated into the culture, you're going to land up wasting a lot of your time. And I'll tell you, I was in a difficult position because I had 30 days to get another job, or I would have to leave the country. And it was, I was living alone by myself. Have you ever felt that alone? Have you ever felt that isolated, where you feel like there is not even a single job for you in the entire world? इस पूरी दुनिया में मेरे लिए एक भी नौकरी नहीं है क्या? So I was feeling sorry for myself, but I also realized that, I only have to fix this situation. See, the reason they let me go, the reason they fired me, was because I was unable to fit into their culture. It was not their mistake. I had joined them. I had to learn how to fit into their organization. They were a growing company, but I could not fit into their company because my way of working was very different. And after being fired, I started looking for opportunities again because I had a short amount of time. I started looking for other opportunities, but I was not even finding any suitable role. And it was at that time that I decided that I'm not going to use the traditional way of getting a job. I'm not going to start looking on the internet again and use the traditional way of getting a job. I'm going to use my SPT model. I decided I'm going to use my SPT model. And do you want to understand what the results were when I used my SPT model? Give me an R for results if you want to understand what the results were. I'll share this with you. See, when I started using my SPT model, in less than 30 days, I was able to generate offers from all 4 of my target companies. Do you remember I showed you I had 4 target companies? Give me a 4 in the comment box if you remember that. So I was able to generate offers from all 4 target companies, and the minimum offer was a 3x. The minimum offer was a 3x. So I'm going to share this with you. See, at the time I was working for this company, Total Wine and More. This is the company that fired me that I was just talking about. All right. And I was working as a senior manager. Okay. And when I used the SPT model, I was able to generate offers from all four target companies. The first one was a company called ABC Fine Wines and Spirits. This is also in the beverage alcohol industry. It was in the same industry. But this, in terms of title, was a double jump. It was at the VP level. And in terms of salary, the jump was from 59 lakhs to 1.69 crores. What I want you to pay attention to is to these two columns. I want you to pay attention to these two columns. See, this first column is called your NS score. Who is going to tell me what is NS score? थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा. Tell me, what is NS score? Yes, Sindhu, it applies to freshers also. Shivansh Mehra has the right answer. Milind Barkur has the right answer. Samuel Paul is on the right track. Ashwini Patikar has the right answer. Savitri Jha has the right answer. Vivek Suman has the right answer. Mayank Khattar has the right answer. That's right. See, this was the needs to steak score. This is the score that comes from your hard data research, from understanding if your steak matches with the needs, these extraordinary needs, the needs that go beyond the job description of the company. And the second area was this cultural score. This comes from your soft data research. This helps you understand how many of the factors that you are looking for, you will actually find in the culture of the company before you join them. Are you understanding that when you look at the job search process in this manner, you can quantify how successful you will be in that role? Give me a cue for quantify if you're understanding this. This is the power of research. Please understand that. The second offer that I generated was from this company called Diageo. And this is the largest beverage alcohol company in the world. You know, it was a manufacturer. And this was a very senior level sales position. The base salary that they were offering was 2.15 crores plus a 20% bonus, which is very typical of sales roles. That would bring the total package to more than 2.5 CR. Because here again, my NS score was a solid A. My hard data research told me that I am very relevant to the kinds of problems and opportunities that this company is facing. And my soft data research told me that 5 out of the 8 factors are available to me. I will get 5 out of the 8 factors that I'm looking for. So I would fit even better into this organization. The third job offer that I got was from this company called Bevmo, another retailer. It was another chain of liquor stores. And here it was, the base salary was more than 2.5 CR with a small bonus that would bring the total package to more than 2.8 crores. Because again, the NS score here was a solid A. And I would get 75% of the factors that I was looking for. 6 out of the 8 factors I would get. So I would fit even better into the organization. And the fourth offer that I generated was from this company called Palm Day. Now here the base salary was 1.9 crores. But look at this, a 50% performance-based bonus. What they were telling me is that if you are able to achieve the targets, we will give you 50% extra pay. And I was a very ambitious young man. That would give me a total package of almost 2.9 crores. Because I was custom made for this job. I mean, my NS score was a A+. It wouldn't be better. And my soft data research told me that, I would get all of the factors that I'm looking for. Now, this does not mean that the company would not have any politics. That's not what I'm saying. See, wherever there are human beings, some little bit of politics is there. जहां पे भी इंसान है, थोड़ी बहुत राजनीति तो है. But what this is saying is that my value system and the company's value system matches. That is why I will be able to handle the politics that may be there in the environment. Are you understanding this? Give me a U for understanding if you're understanding this. This is the power of hard data and soft data research. So my question to you is, which offer do you think did I choose? Did I take the first offer, the second offer, the third offer, or the fourth offer? See, most of you are giving the correct answer. Now, keep in mind, the highest fixed salary was in the third offer. But still, most of you are giving the correct answer. Correct. Have you heard this statement? Money is not everything. पैसा ही सब कुछ नहीं होता. Have you heard this? Give me a H for heard if you have heard this statement. Thank you. See, I can tell you, I agree with this statement. Money is not everything. Money cannot buy time. Money cannot buy relationships. Money cannot buy happiness. But please understand, in times of difficulty, money can be your best protection. मुश्किल के समय पे पैसा कवच बन करके सामने खड़ा हो जाता है. So can I tell you the honest truth about this statement? Give me a T for truth if I can tell you the honest truth about this statement. See, the honest truth about this statement is, please don't use such philosophical statements until you are a millionaire. How many of you are laughing right now? Give me a L for laughing if you're laughing right now. Please understand, this is the honest truth. See, you have to have money to understand that money is not everything. And when you have money in times of difficulty, then please understand it can offer you a lot of options. Please understand that. So you're right. I took the fourth package. I took the Palm Day offer. And the reason I took this offer was because I was a custom fit for this role. My ability to help solve their challenges was spot on. And culturally, my soft data research told me that I would get all of the factors that I'm looking for in this opportunity. All of the cultural factors I would also find. This is the power of hard data and soft data research. Can you tell me what was my number one learning from running the SPT model? Can you tell me what was my number one learning from running the SPT model? Tell me in the chat box. What do you think was my number one learning from running this process? I'm getting some amazing answers. Atharva Mane is saying research is gold. Very well said, Atharva. Amrita Sinha is saying right talent at right place. Well articulated. Madhurima is saying research is important. Ajinkya is saying you ensured your success. Yes, one very big learning was that the model works. That was a very big learning, but it was not my biggest learning. Harshita is saying you're fit in the company. Pranav is saying my worth. Partha Sarthi is saying fitment factor. Nishant is saying got the truth. Sai Prasant is saying right company. Himanshu is saying numbers do not lie. Soumya Ditya is saying highest salary. Tathagata is saying self-worth. Hitesh is saying discovered your strengths. Asma is saying culture is important. P.S. Nair is saying alignment. Sarang is saying patience and hard work pays. See, these are all great answers. These are phenomenal answers, but I can tell you this was not my number one learning. Can I share my number one learning with you? Give me a 1 in the comment box if I may share my number one learning with you. See, please understand, my number one learning from running this process, from running this model, was that your past salary has no relationship with your future income potential. How many of you are having a light bulb moment right now? Give me a LB for light bulb if you're understanding this. See, these are limitations we make in our own mind. See, please understand, the job search and application process, the job search and application process is designed by employers for employers. The job search and application process is designed by employers for employers. Give me a BEFE if you're understanding what I'm telling you. BEFE. It is a process designed by employers for employers. And everywhere all over the world, not just in India. See, today I have successful students across 27 countries and over 65 industries. Please understand that. Okay, so not only in India but all over the world, okay, they are going to ask you for your salary history. Yes, give me a Y for yes if you're understanding this. See, this process took me 6 years to build and 10 years to perfect, because the process shows you how to deal with that limitation. And I will show you that a little later today. Right? In the interviewing process and how you deal with all of that. Right? So, see, please understand, it was only when I applied this did I get my red diamond job. And I can tell you, when I started, my salary was 2.9 crores. And then within 8 months, I achieved the targets and I used this model again. Because this is something that you're going to use repeatedly. Give me a R for repeatedly if you're understanding this. This is something you're going to use repeatedly for promotions or new opportunities. So I used it again. And when I used it again, I got promoted to vice president using this model again. This is how it creates acceleration in your career. And that when I got promoted, my salary hit 4.1 crores. And then I was a VP for 2 years in the same company. Yes, in the same company. And then after 2 years, I used it again. And then I was promoted to CEO of their largest private label division. And at that point, my salary hit 11 crores. See, please understand, I cannot even tell you the feeling that my family had when I made it to the CEO position. Because please understand, this was the top of the ladder. There was no place left to go. So please understand, Vaibhav is saying, how do you repeat the process? So Vaibhav, please understand, you conduct the hard data and the soft data research again, and it tells you the new set of challenges. Then you align yourself with them and go after those challenges. And I'll share this with you. See, this is my tax return form. This is my W2 form. This is my tax return form. This is from 1 year into the CEO job. My salary was over $2.2 million. And please understand this. I'm not sharing this with you to impress you. That is not the purpose of this slide. Please understand this. The real point of this slide is only someone who has walked every inch of this journey can guide you as to what your journey is going to be like. Please understand that. It's the person who has done the R&D who is the one who has the answers. And to reach here, I had to create value at every single stage of my career. I had to learn how to tackle the politics at every single stage of my career. So I understand what are the pitfalls and what are the problems that a working professional encounters at every stage of their career, whether they are a fresher or a mid-stage career professional or a senior leader. Because nobody is going to come to you on Monday morning. Nobody is going to come to you on Monday morning. Your boss is not going to come to you and say, I like you double today. Let us increase your salary. It doesn't work like that. You have to earn every penny of this. Can I share a short personal story with you? This is something that's personally meaningful to me. May I share this? May I have your permission? Please give me a P for permission, if I may. Just a short. Thank you. See, I'll tell you, I was promoted on the 1st of March in 2009. I was promoted on the 1st of March in 2009. And shortly after I got the promotion. 2 days after I was promoted, I became a father for the first time. How many of you have children of your own? Give me a C for children if you have children of your own. Wow, lots of parents with us this morning. Excellent. Now, I can tell you, it was the best week of my life. First, I get promoted and then I become a father. It felt like a double promotion. That's right. I have 2 children now. I have a son and a daughter. My son was my firstborn. And, we were just very thankful that everything went smoothly. The delivery and everything was smooth. My mother-in-law, of course, was visiting at that time because, the girl's mother typically comes over to help at that time. And, that morning, my boss called me and he said, hey, how's everything going? And I said, everything's great. We became parents. And he said, wow, wonderful. I would like to come to the hospital and I would like to congratulate you in person. And I said, that's so thoughtful of you. I really appreciate that. So the next day, by the evening, my boss came to the hospital. Agle din sham tak wo aaye. And I had an amazing relationship with my boss. I mean, there was a lot of mutual respect. There was a lot of sincerity. There was, we would travel very often together. We would joke around with each other. It was a very warm and, close relationship. And I can tell you, he came to, see us at the hospital the next day. But by the time he came, we had been discharged. So we were actually on our way out. I was taking my wife out. She was in a wheelchair because, she had just delivered a child the previous day. And the baby was in her arms. And, so we were walking out of the hospital and I could see him walk up. So when he was walking up and he saw me, he came towards me and he gave me a hug and he congratulated me and he blessed the baby. And then he said, Sawan, I've got something for you. And I said, you didn't need to bring me anything. Just the fact that you came here is so special. Thank you. And he said, no, I wanted to do this. So he takes me and my family to the parking area. It was just across the road, the parking area. And he gives me a little box. And I open the box to see that there is a black color heavy rectangle in the box. And when I pick it up, it has the BMW logo on it. And I click the button and I see the lights of this car flash. For becoming a father and for being promoted to CEO, my boss gifted me a brand new 7 Series BMW. Now, I can tell you, if you can, please put yourself in my shoes for one moment. Because I can tell you it was not the value of the car. I mean, this was a beautiful gesture. I had tears in my eyes. But I can tell you it was not because it was an expensive gift. It was because he did this in front of my family. And I can tell you, in that moment, I promised myself that I am going to work harder for this man than I have worked for anybody in my entire life. And my boss and I made a great team. I mean, we scaled that company to be the most profitable player in the beverage alcohol industry. And that is where I received the Outstanding Achievement Award from the industry. I mean, this was the big leagues. This is an award that had been given to CEOs of companies like McDonald's and Kellogg and Coca-Cola and Walmart. This was the big boys table. So I was deeply honored to receive this. But, have you heard the statement that the dots only connect when you look back? Have you heard this statement? Give me an H for heard if you have heard this statement. It's a very famous statement. It was used by Steve Jobs. He wrote this statement. It was his words, Steve Jobs, at his commencement speech at Stanford University. He makes this statement: the dots only connect when you look back. जब आप मुड़ करके अपने जीवन पर पीछे देखते हैं, तभी समझ आता है कि आपके साथ जो कुछ भी हुआ वो क्यों आपके साथ हुआ. So when I look back at my career, I can tell you, if there is one thing that I understand, the way the dots connect for me is that I've come to understand that there is a science to building your career. There is a science to building your career. Please understand that, because the dots will not connect looking into the future. The future is unfolding 1 second at a time for all of us. The dots are not going to connect looking into the future. The dots only connect when you look back. And that is where I realized there is a science to building your career. In fact, please understand, you too can command a premium salary and have an amazing job and career if you follow the science of building your career, because there are only two reasons that are limiting you. That is why you are settling or compromising with your career. These are the two reasons. In fact, these are the two types of professionals that I need. The first is a professional who believes that their expertise is not worth a bigger paycheck. They have lost their belief in themselves because they have taken a beating at the hands of life. How many people here have taken a beating at the hands of life? Give me a B for beating. अगर आपने जीवन से कुछ लाख मुक्के खा रखे हैं, तो give me a B for beating in the chat box. Because this is what happens when we face obstacles and challenges and defeats and failures in life. It breaks our confidence. We lose the game inside our head even before we actually lose it in life. And I'll tell you, the second type of professional that I need is, people who believe in themselves, but they are also afraid that if they raise their salary expectations, they will price themselves outside the market and that no one will hire them. And I want you to understand, both of these reasons are limiting beliefs in your head. They may even be in your subconscious mind. You may not even realize that at a subconscious level, this is what is holding you back. So I want to do two things. First, I want you to understand the underlying psychology behind these reasons so that you can permanently break them. Give me a P for permanent if you want to learn how to permanently break these limitations. And the second thing that I want to do is I want to take you deeper into the implementation of the SPT model. Give me an I for implementation if you want to understand the deeper implementation of the SPT model. Thank you. So I'm going to do both of these things. I'm going to help you understand the underlying psychology behind these limiting beliefs so that you can permanently break them. And then I'm going to take you deeper into the implementation of the SPT model. But first, I'll give you a short break. We've been going for a little over 2 hours. ये 2 घंटे कहाँ गए पता ही नहीं लगा. आपके साथ इतना अच्छा लग रहा है और इतना मजा आ रहा है that it didn't feel like 2 hours. Right? Excellent. So I'll give you a short break. So if you want to go to the bathroom or you want to get another cup of chai or coffee, you can certainly do that. I'll give you a short 10-minute break. Now, before you go for the break, please understand something. Please understand something. Please understand, initiative is very important. Initiative is what gets you started. Initiative is very important. Okay? But there is something even more important than initiative. Can you tell me what is even more important than initiative? Wow, I'm getting some amazing answers. Sustenance, passion, consistency, implementation, execution, changing to reality, mindset to finish, implementation, diligence, intention and action. Wow. I can tell I'm speaking to a very refined room of professionals. See, I'll tell you what I call it. I call it initiative. I call it initiative. How many of you are smiling right now? Give me a S for smiling if you're smiling right now. Excellent. So I'll give you a short break. Okay, I'll give you a short break. And when you come back from the break, we will get into helping you understand the underlying psychology, so you can permanently break these limiting beliefs, and then I will take you deeper into the implementation as well. All right. So I'll give you a 12-minute break. Please be back in your seat by 11:22 a.m. Tell me, what time will you be back in your seat? Tell me the time. What time will you be back? Excellent. My champions are saying 11:21. That's right. Excellent. All right. So I'll put it on your screen here as well. And those of you who have been asking for my LinkedIn, I'll give you that again. Here is my LinkedIn. So you can click on that and you can send me a LinkedIn request. I'd be very happy to have you in my network. I'd be very happy to connect with you. So if you send that, then later on today I will make sure I accept it. Lovely to have you here. Enjoy your break, and I'll put the time here on the screen as well. I'll put it here on the screen as well.
तो खाना है आपको हंसो हंसो भाई Power up.
Time to get back into your seats. Give me a P for back if you're back in your seats. Excellent. Sorry, 1 minute late हो गया. मैं भी अपने लिए कॉफी बना रहा था. I was also making a cup of coffee. So, yes. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So, are you ready to get started? Give me a R for ready if you are ready to get started. Sorry, I have not been able to attend to each and every comment individually. Please understand, there are at this point over 1,600 people in the room. So please understand, if I'm not able to get to your comment, it's not because of any other reason. I love you all equally. I hope you're understanding that. Give me a U for understand if you're understanding that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. See, most of your questions will get answered, and if there are any left, I'll give you my email as well. Excellent. All right. So, are you ready to get started? Give me a R for ready if you are ready to get started. Excellent. All right. So, let's keep our timing. See, I was talking about how there is a science to building your career. And please understand, the dots only connect when you look back. And I came to understand this, that there is a science to building your career. In fact, let me tell you, you too can have a great career and a great salary if you apply that science. And there are two reasons that are holding you back. There are two reasons why you are settling or why you are compromising with your salary. And these are the two reasons. They could be in your subconscious mind. You may not even fully realize that these reasons are holding you back. The first one is people who believe that their expertise is not worth a bigger paycheck. They've lost their belief in themselves because they've taken a beating at the hands of life. And the second is people who still believe in themselves, but they are afraid that if they raise their salary expectations, they will price themselves outside the market and that no one will hire them. So I want you to understand this. These are simply limiting beliefs in your head. And I'm going to help you understand the underlying psychology so that you can permanently break these. And then I'll take you deeper into the implementation as well. So can I share an example with you? Give me an E for example if I can share an example with you. Excellent. See, this is Gopal and he lives in Ludhiana in Punjab. And I can tell you he was working in sales and marketing and he lost his job in COVID. Do you remember when the first lockdown was announced? Tell me the date. What was the date when the first lockdown was announced? That's right, 23rd March, 2020, 23rd March, correct. And then, after he was let go, lockdown was announced in March and he was asked to resign in April. And after he was let go, he applied for 78 different positions. But the only response that he received was, "Thank you for submitting your application. If we find you suitable, we shall get back to you. Please do not reply to this message. This is an auto-generated response." How many of you are familiar with that email? Give me an F for familiar if you are familiar with that email. Can you imagine what it does to someone's mindset when they go through 78 rejections? Yeah, it can completely shatter your confidence. That's right. You can feel totally depressed and lost. And that is where he came and engaged with me. And he took a total of 63 days. In 63 days, he found the right opportunity for himself as VP Sales and Operations with this company called Kaya. And his salary jumped from 9.5 lakhs to 18 lakhs plus variable. And now he's looking at the next level of opportunities. He's considering packages over 60. How many of you want to create jumps like this in your career? Give me a J for jump if you want to create jumps like this in your career. Then please understand what you get paid for, because you're not paid for your time or your knowledge or even your personality. Please understand that. I'm not saying these things are not important. They are important. You want to build a great career, you will have to dedicate time. You will have to gain and build your base of knowledge, and you will have to be the kind of person who knows how to work well with others. But this is not the foundation. You get paid for the value of the results that you deliver. Please understand that. You get paid for the value of the results that you deliver. And that is why I want you to break the connection of your value with your time, knowledge, and personality. Have you heard of students who study only for 1 week before the exam, but they still do very well? Maybe you are a student like that. And then there are students who study for months, but they are still struggling to pass. So please understand, you are paid for the value of the results that you deliver. And when you are delivering strong results, it becomes very easy for an employer to overlook minor problems with you. Are you understanding this? Give me a U for understanding if you're understanding this. छोटी मोटी चीजें नजरअंदाज हो जाती हैं. But also, when you're delivering good results, your leadership capacity must grow. Your leadership potential must show. You must become even easier to work with. See, let me ask you this. What is the most difficult thing for an employer or a business owner? Tell me in the chat box. What is the most difficult thing for an employer or a business owner? Tell me in the chat box. I'm getting retention, trust, get work out of people, team management, morale, loss, relationship, consistency, success, risk taking, getting the right resources, leading people, people management, honesty with employees, employing the right person, loyalty, management, employee motivation, teamwork, inefficient employees, replicating himself or herself to manage the business, getting the right people, right skills for right work, training different mindsets, finding the right talent. Wow, I can tell that I'm speaking to people who have strong experiences because that is the correct answer. See, the most difficult thing in business is to develop great people and then to be able to hold on to them. You have to kiss many frogs before you find a prince. How many of you are smiling right now? Give me a S for smiling if you are smiling. The fundamental question here is, are you good at what you do? Are you good at what you do? Because that is exactly what your employer wants. They want high quality, error-free, result-producing work. If you can do that, then you are a gift. You are a blessing to that employer. Please understand that. Otherwise, they will have to be involved themselves directly. And that can be a big headache for them. So it does not matter what function or what industry you work in. Your experience level, your function and your industry does not matter. You could be in sales or finance or IT or supply chain or HR or accounts or finance. You could be in the energy industry or the education industry or retail, or you could be in healthcare, you could be in academics, you could be in any industry and any function. If you are good at what you do, then you are expected to know how to meet your targets. You're expected to know how to meet and beat your targets. So if there is a business where that area is not performing well, where your area is not performing well, and they meet a candidate like you, someone who can help them fix things, someone who can help them stabilize in a difficult time, someone who can maybe even help them return to a little bit of growth and profitability, someone who can help them avoid all of the other problems that will come because of these core issues. What is that worth to that company? I mean, seriously, what is that worth to that company? See, I think about my own business. If I am in a situation where I am short of time and my sales or my IT or my operations or my marketing or any of these areas is not doing well, and I need the right candidate, someone who can help me stabilize in a difficult time, someone who can maybe even return me to a little bit of growth, who can help avoid all of the other problems that will come because of these core issues. There is no way I'm not going to find a method to hire that person. Please understand that. And that brings me to an even bigger truth bomb. If a business or an employer is sitting across the table from someone who can solve their needs, there is no way they are going to let them walk away. See, if a doctor can cure you, does it matter to you if the doctor is tall or short? Tell me. If a doctor can cure you, does it matter to you if the doctor is tall or short? See, please understand that. Finding people who take true ownership and accountability is not easy. If you find the right values, then it is your duty to develop those values. And yet, if you are the person with the right values, you keep offering yourself for standard pay. Because this is not taught in the formal system of education. Are you understanding this? Give me a U for understanding if you're understanding. Learning how to get the right job is not taught in the school and college system. If you ask the school and college system, how do I get the right job? Their answer is a square plus b square equals a square plus b square plus 2ab. How many of you are laughing right now? Give me a L for laughing if you're laughing right now. See, please understand that. And I'll give you an example of it. See, this is Amarji. He was working in purchase and procurement in the building material industry. And he also lost his job in COVID. And he's got 2 young sons in college. He's got responsibilities. And when he was let go, he was not even given his severance. You know how we put on a brave face in front of our families, but inside we are shaken? Do you know that feeling? Give me a K for no if you know that feeling. How we put on a brave face in front of our families. That is what he was going through. And that is where he came and engaged with me. He took a total of 45 days. In 45 days, he created the right opportunity for himself as head of business development for this company called EPAC India. Salary went from 14 lakhs to 25 lakhs plus variable. Total package 33. And now he's looking at positions above 75. See, I told you, I want you to understand the underlying psychology so that you can permanently break these limiting beliefs. Because most people keep living a blind life. Please understand that. And I'll tell you what is a blind life. A blind life is a life where you know what is the right thing to do, but you're still unable to take action. How many of you are guilty of living the blind life? Give me a G for guilty if you're guilty of living the blind life. Thank you for your honesty. Because please understand, when you face challenges and difficulty, it kills something inside you where you even stop trying. And you relate with this. Give me a R for relate. You can relate with this. Because most people don't understand the strategic value of failure. Failure is not your enemy. Failure comes before success. Failure is what gives success its meaning. Failure comes into your life to redirect you to the masterpiece that you can be. Because please understand this underlying psychology. Outcomes are very easy to define. आपके जो लक्ष्य है, जो आपको अपने जीवन में हासिल करना है, वो चीजें लिखना बहुत आसान है. It's very easy to define the goals, the outcomes that you want in your life. A good house, loving relationships, a good bank account, good body and health. It's very easy to write those things down. But please understand, it is the process of what you do that will make those things a reality. The process that you follow will make those goals a reality. And the problem is the fact that you have an existing identity. You have an existing identity, and that existing identity has some beliefs. आपका एक बना हुआ वजूद है और उस वजूद की कुछ मान्यताएं हैं. This is the problem. Let me give you an example. How many people here want to lose weight? Give me a LW for lose weight. Lose weight. So what are the 2 things that you need to do to lose weight? What are the 2 things you need to do to lose weight? Correct. You need to diet and you need to exercise. Correct? You need to diet and you need to exercise. But if your existing identity believes more in sitting in front of the television and watching serials and Netflix, then your existing identity will not let you follow the process that takes you to your goals. How many of you are having a light bulb moment right now? Give me a LB for light bulb if you're understanding this. Because please appreciate, True behavior change is the ability to change your identity. True behavior change is the ability to change your identity. And people make a very big deal out of this. लोग इस बात का पतंगड़ बना देते हैं. They make a very big deal out of this. It's actually a simple two-step process. Give me a 2 in the comment box if you want to understand this two-step process. See, please understand this. The first step is you have to decide the type of person you want to be. किस प्रकार का व्यक्ति बनना है, ये निर्णय आपको पहले लेना है. You have to decide the type of person that you want to be. Because the way in which change will happen doesn't matter if you don't fundamentally make the decision to change. And do you know why people are not able to fully commit to this decision? Ask me why in the comment box. Why are people not able to fully commit to this decision? See, the reason people cannot fully commit to this decision is because they fill their head with the regrets of the past and with anxieties of the future. How many of you are having a light bulb moment right now? Give me a LB for light bulb if you're understanding this. If you fill your head with regrets of the past and anxieties of the future, then where is the space left to fully commit to this decision to change? अगर आप अपना दिमाग कल के अफसोस और आने वाली बेचैनियों से भर लोगे, तो फिर जगह कहां बची वर्तमान में ये पूरी डिसीजन लेने की कमिटमेंट के साथ? So please understand, deciding to change is the first step. You don't need to bring an elephant to kill the ant. चींटी को मारने के लिए हाथी को लाने की जरूरत नहीं है. And the second step of the process is you have to prove it to yourself with small wins. You have to collect the proof, the evidence that you are capable of change. Please understand that. And all it takes is 10 minutes a day. Give me a 10 in the comment box if you're willing to put in 10 minutes a day. But you have to put it in consistently. You have to put it in consistently. Because the underlying psychology here is that people prefer the certainty of misery to the misery of uncertainty. People prefer the certainty of misery to the misery of uncertainty. Please understand that. How many of you have understood this and how many of you have not understood this? Give me a U for understood and an NU for not understood. Because it is very important you understand this. I'll explain it to you. People prefer the certainty of misery to the misery of uncertainty. This means knowing that if you do not create change in your life, you're going to remain unhappy. Even after knowing that, you are unable to create change in your life because you are afraid of everything that you will have to face when you set out on that journey to create the change. अगर आप अपने जीवन में बदलाव नहीं लाएंगे तो आप नाखुश रहेंगे. ये जानने के बावजूद आप अपने जीवन में बदलाव नहीं ला पाते हैं क्योंकि उन सारी चीजों से डर लगता है जिसका सामना करना पड़ेगा जब आप बदलाव लाने के लिए निकल पड़ेंगे. Understand this. This is the underlying psychology. And when you don't know how to internalize failure, when you don't know the strategic value of failure, then please understand you will start building a very negative resistance in your mind. It will become more difficult for you to take decisions. How many of you can relate with this? Give me an R for relate if you can relate with this. Because please understand, when you don't know that failure is not your enemy, it is your friend, then you start building this negative resistance. And this resistance is invisible. It's invisible. You cannot see it. An enemy becomes much more powerful when you cannot see the enemy. like coronavirus. We can't see the coronavirus, right? Please understand this. And this is internal to human psychology. This is internal to human psychology, okay? And this resistance is very unreasonable. You cannot have a dialogue with this resistance. You cannot have a discussion with your resistance. The only thing it understands is your power to take action. The only thing it understands is your power to take action. Dinesh is saying, what causes the resistance? Your inability to understand that failure is not your enemy, it's your friend. When you fail in life and you don't know that it's there to teach you something, you become more resistant. Please understand that. And it's very unreasonable. You cannot have a dialogue with it. So if correct, and it's very hierarchical. It's very hierarchical. I want you to understand this. Resistance will only come up when you are taking a decision that will improve your life. Please understand that. It's very hierarchical. So if you want to lose weight, okay, if you want to lose weight, then what happens? Resistance comes up. And what does that resistance say? We'll start the diet from next week. We'll go to the gym from next Monday. Does that Monday ever come? Tell me in the chat box. Does it ever come? See, if you are delaying things, if you are procrastinating things, it's a clear sign that your mind is being run by resistance. Please understand that. Please appreciate this. It is hard to get up in the morning to go for that morning walk. But if you actually go for the walk, will you not respect yourself more the entire day? Yes or no? सुबह उठना सबको तकलीफ होती है, सबका दिल करता है 5 मिनट और लेटा रहूं, पर अगर आप उठ के चले गए तो आप अपने खुद की इज्जत ज्यादा करेंगे. You will respect your own self much more if you actually see. You don't win the battle of life in theory. You don't win the battle of life in theory. You win it in the actual battlefield. It's very good to have this knowledge. But if somebody puts gulab jamun and chola bhatura in front of you, then all the knowledge goes out the window. How many of you are laughing right now? Give me a L for laughing if you're laughing right now. Right? So please understand that. And this resistance is very impersonal. It's very impersonal. The resistance doesn't care who you are. It doesn't matter if you live in South India or North India or East India or West India. The resistance doesn't care if you're tall or short or fair or dark or light or fat. It doesn't care. It's impersonal and it's very strategic. The closer you are to achieving the true goals of your life, the harder resistance will hit you. Because the goal of resistance is not just to hurt you or damage you. The goal of resistance is to kill you. Please understand that. And do you know why resistance is so good at winning over you? Ask me why in the comment box. Why is resistance so good at winning over you? The reason resistance is so good is because resistance is highly manipulative. It is highly manipulative. And the reason it is so good is because your resistance has been building slowly. As you have faced difficulties and challenges and failures and defeat in life, your resistance has been building slowly in your head since you were a small child. Please understand that. It has complete access to your brain. It knows exactly how you think and it knows what to tell you to break your logic. How many of you are having a light bulb moment right now? Give me a LB for light bulb if you're understanding this. I'll share an example of resistance with you. Okay? See, this is Brian, and he was a senior professional, already 20 years of experience. He was a senior professional. Salary was over 1 CR, and he was working in the medical devices industry for this company, Stryker. And he loved the company, but he was working for an insecure and threatened boss. How many of you have worked for someone who feels threatened by you? Give me a T for threatened if you work for somebody who feels threatened by you. Because see, please understand, your boss can either be your biggest supporter or they can be the biggest roadblock in your way. And he was working for an insecure boss who was giving him so much negativity that a resistance had started to build in him. इतनी जली कटी सुना रहा था कि ये resistance बनने लग गई. And I can tell you, he had a lot more to give to the company, but he was tired of facing this situation. And that is where he came and engaged with me. He took a total of 68 days. In 68 days, he got a promotion in the same company and he 3x'd his salary. Salary went from 1 CR to 3 CR in 68 days. Promotion in the same company. This is what he had to say. Take a look.
Hi everyone, my name is Brian. I work in the finance department within the medical device industry, and I'm here to tell you that I've been through Sawan's course, and it is hands down the most comprehensive and complete job search and job application tool that is out there. The program takes complete responsibility to help you find your dream job and holds your hand through the entire process, and it's something that you will use potentially long into your career. If you're honestly serious about your professional career, I can sincerely recommend that you sign up for this program because you will use the knowledge multiple times during your career as you move laterally and upwards in your career ladder in your profession. Honestly, accelerating your career is in your hands. I wish you all the best and sincere best wishes in your career ahead. Thank you.
I can tell you, money is just not a concern for him anymore. And yet, you keep compromising with your salary and your career. But please understand, it's not your fault because this is not taught in the formal system of education. So be a little kind with yourself. I want to help you break this belief, but you have to be a little kind with yourself. Don't let regret and anxiety take up space in your head. Are you understanding this? Give me a U for understanding if you're understanding this. I told you I will help you break these limiting beliefs. Your lack of confidence partly is because you don't know how to get the right time and job. Because it is not taught in school or college. That was the first limiting belief. And the second one was, there are people who believe in themselves, but they feel if they raise their salary expectations, they will price themselves outside the market and that no one will hire them. And I want you to understand this is also a limiting belief. See, please understand, a high salary expectation is actually reassurance to an employer that you are the best of the best because we only get what we pay for. We only get what we pay for. Please understand that. So if we go back to the example where, let's say, my business is suffering, in that situation, who will I hire? Will I hire a person who will take a long time to train and a lot of hand-holding to manage? Or will I hire a person who knows how to take true responsibility and ownership? Give me a RO for responsibility and ownership if you feel the answer is to take someone who takes true responsibility and ownership for results. And please understand, such people are not cheap. Please understand that. If someone is asking for 30,000 rupees salary and another person is asking for 1 lakh rupees salary, who will you assume is better? Who will you assume is better? Because please understand, we get what we pay for. So naturally, I will draw the conclusion that someone who's asking for more money is far superior. They are far more mature. They are far more results oriented. Please understand that. You get what you pay for. You cannot get a Ferrari for the price of a Fiat. They are both cars. They do the same thing. They will only take you from point A to point B. But the experience of owning and driving a Ferrari is very different from owning and driving a Fiat. My question to you is, how many of you consider yourselves to be a Ferrari, but your career is stuck in the life of a Fiat? Give me a FR for Ferrari if you consider yourself to be a Ferrari, but your career is unfortunately stuck in the life of a Fiat. Then please be a little kind with yourself. Be a little kind with yourself, because this is not taught in the formal system of education. And the thing I want you to understand here is, people who actually get paid more, they actually produce better results. Please understand that. And both great employers and great employees understand this. See, salary is a very important aspect of your job, but you cannot look at salary alone. There are other factors also. There is culture, there is team, there is, many other factors. Are you trusted? Are you respected? Are you made to feel included? There are many other factors, but salary is a very, very important variable. How many of you are attending here today because you want to provide a better quality of life for the people who are dependent on you? Give me an I in the comment box if you're attending here today because you want to improve the quality of life for the people who are dependent on you. Thank you. So please understand, the number will be important. If you get paid 30,000, then your effort will be worth 30,000. But if you get paid 1 lakh, then your effort will be worth 1 lakh, isn't it? See, your commitment and your drive to achieve your targets will be very different, isn't it? I mean, you are going to show up ready to work. Your energy is going to be at its best. And does that not position you to achieve better results when you're in that zone? Please understand that. And the last thing I want you to learn here is that it is much easier to fix your own life if you have a premium salary versus if you're an ordinary salary. By the way, how many of you are interested in international offers? Give me an IO for international offers if you're open to international offers. Because a lot of people have that dream, right? They want to work abroad for some part of their career, or they want to settle abroad. And the world is becoming more and more a global place. I can tell you, my students have accepted offers from over 27 countries. Rohit was one of them. He used the SPT model and he got a job in Singapore. And I can tell you, his salary was 54 lakhs. He was doing well. But after 3 years in this job, his company got bought by another organization. And when the company was taken over, there were differences between the leaders of both the companies. How many of you have faced a situation like that where there are differences at the leadership level? Give me an I in the comment box if you have faced that. Because if there are problems at the leadership level, those problems will come into every area of the company. And he was tired of waiting for his boss to recognize his potential. He was tired of waiting for his company to recognize his potential. And that is where he used the SPT model again. And in 75 days, he went on to get the position of a CEO. And during the pandemic, he has grown that company to over 20 million Singapore dollars. This is what he had to say. Take a look.
Hello everyone.
My name is Rohit Rajan. I live in Singapore, working in the digital marketing space. I've been professionally employed for all of my career, and while I was experiencing growth, my ambitions were greater than the growth I was experiencing. In this past year, I came to know about the Apex methodology, and I underwent Sawan's program. This program helped me break through all the barriers that were holding me back. And now I head the firm where I work. If you want to accelerate your development, just sign up for this program.
See, I told you I'm going to help you break both of those limiting beliefs. If you believe in yourself, then please understand you don't have to remain subject to the traditional job search and application process, because that is a process that is built by employers for employers. Rohit gifted his parents a house in Kerala. Please understand that. Can I take you a little deeper into the implementation? Give me a D for deeper if I can take you a little deeper into the implementation. Excellent. See, please pay attention to this. When you run the SPT model, you're going to come across two major steps, two major milestones. All right. The first one is going to be your hard data research. All right. And in this first objective, when you run your hard data research, you have two goals. The first one is to conduct the research to uncover these extraordinary needs, the needs that go beyond the job description. And then you have to make this evaluation. You have to make an evaluation. Can you solve the problems of the company? See, both you and the company are trying to answer the same question. Can this person solve our problems? Can he deliver the outcomes? You're also wanting to answer the same question, and the company is also wanting to answer the same question. Hard data research answers this question. It's a question of competence. Can you solve the problems of the company? And the second major step is your soft data research. And in this soft data research, there are two goals. First, to understand your unique personality, to understand what kind of an environment will be suitable for you, where you can grow. See, if you don't know what you're looking for, you will not be able to identify it. Has it ever happened with you that you get up to go look for something, but you forget what you're looking for, and then you're scratching your head, what was I looking for? Has that ever happened with you? Give me an H for happened if that has ever happened with you. Right? So if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not going to be able to identify it. And the second step in your soft data research is to then assess what factors are actually available to you. Now, please understand, your soft data research is answering a question of culture. Do you want to solve their problems? Both you and the company are looking to answer the same question, even in your soft data research. Do you want to solve their problems? Because it cannot just be a paycheck for you. You cannot be in a situation where you love your salary and you hate your job, or you love your job but you hate your salary, because those situations are not sustainable. Because your red diamond lives at the end of this road. And the goal is to be able to take this journey efficiently. The goal is not to get lost in the journey. So I'm going to take you a little deeper into hard data and soft data research. Please pay attention to this. The first step will be to conduct hard data research. And when you conduct hard data research, you are essentially conducting these 5 types of research, these 5 types of analysis: financial analysis, industry analysis, credit rating analysis, market and competitive analysis. Now, how many people are here with a finance background, and how many people here are from a non-finance background? Give me a F for finance and give me a NF for non-finance. Because the first thing I want you to understand is that you do not require a background in finance to learn how to do financial analysis. You do not require a background in finance to do a financial analysis. Please understand that. Okay? You don't have to learn how to build financial statements. You only have to learn how to read financial statements. Please understand that. And when you conduct financial analysis, you're looking at ratios. And I can tell you, a lot of people who take a career gap, who take a career break, they come back and they are able to learn how to do this in less than 1 hour. Especially women. A lot of women will take a career break to have children or to look after aging parents or in-laws. And they come back after a long break of 5-7 years and they are able to do this in less than an hour. Because the only thing required here is learning how to read these statements. And you look at these different areas of ratios. So one area you look at is liquidity ratios. See, liquidity ratios are related to cash flow. They help you understand if a company has the ability to manage its working capital, its monthly expenses. See, there are some payments a company has to make every month. Rent has to be paid every month. Salaries have to be paid every month. Electricity bill has to be paid. You need tea and coffee every month. You need to buy paper for the printer every month, right? What will happen to a company that is unable to meet its monthly expenses? Tell me in the chat box. What will happen to a company that is unable to meet its monthly expenses? Bust. Yes, that's right. It will close down. So please understand, liquidity ratios help you understand cash flow issues. And it helps you understand why these issues are coming up. Okay? The second type of ratio is activity ratios. Activity ratios help you understand the efficiency of every single department. They help you understand the efficiency of every single department. It doesn't matter if you're in sales or IT or operations or marketing or HR. Doesn't matter what department you're in. Okay? It helps you understand how efficiently is that department working and what can you do to improve the efficiency of that department. So let's say you're an IT professional. If you can do the project in 3 months or 4 months, have you saved the company money? Yes or no? Tell me. Less working capital is required for 3 months versus 4 months, correct? Right. And have you also improved the company's ability to take on more clients? Yes or no? See, all of this can be measured. It does not matter which function you work in. Problems in any function are going to show up in the financial statements. So activity ratios help you understand the efficiency of every single department. And then you also have solvency ratios. Have you heard the term guarantee or security or collateral? Have you heard this term? Give me an H for heard if you heard this term. So please understand this. This is what bankers and lending institutions look at before they give you a loan. They want to make sure that their money is protected. Okay? So they look at this. This is the strength of your balance sheet. And then you also have profitability ratios. Now please understand this. Okay? Please understand this. Does everybody here know the difference between gross profit and net profit? Yes or no? Because please understand, when you look at profitability, you need to examine where the problems are and you need to know the difference between gross and net profit. Okay? Please appreciate this. Gross profit is your sales minus your cost of goods. the cost of the materials to create the product or the service. Okay? That is your gross profit. From gross profit, if you take away indirect expenses, expenses like taxes and interest, depreciation, then you get net profit. सारे खर्चे निकालने के बाद क्या मुनाफा हुआ, right? That is net profit. And when it comes to looking at cash flow and profitability, there are two golden rules. Please understand this. There are two golden rules. The first one is that your margin must be greater than the cost of the capital that you used to get into the business. The margin must be higher than the weighted average cost of the capital. And the second golden rule is that the company's assets must produce an inflow of money that is faster than its liabilities demanding an outflow. Please understand this. The company's assets must produce an inflow of money that is faster than the liabilities demanding an outflow. Please understand, these are the two golden rules that come when you examine ratio analysis. And the last types of ratios that you look at are market ratios. How many of you have a demat account? How many of you have a demat account? Give me a D in the comment box if you have a demat account. Because market ratios are ratios related with public limited companies. These are ratios like, price to equity ratio, return on capital, dividend yield, earnings per share, correct? These are the things you look at to determine, is this going to be a good investment in this share or not? Okay, so these ratios help you understand where are the opportunities and the challenges hiding. Please understand this. How many of you are having a light bulb moment right now? Give me a LB for light bulb if you're understanding this. They help you understand where are the problems and the opportunities hiding, so that you can make an evaluation. Can you solve those problems? Can you help them capitalize on those opportunities? And then you also conduct industry analysis, because many a times there are factors at an industry level that can help you maximize profitable market share. How many of you are familiar with this Porter's 5 forces analysis? How many of you are familiar with this? Give me a F for familiar and an NF for not familiar. This is an old analytical technique, but please understand it is very relevant in this post-corona world of today, because it helps you look at 5 factors at an industry level. It helps you look at 5 factors at an industry level. See, every industry has a value chain. Every industry has a value chain. Okay? A point where the product or the service is created, and a point where the product or the service is consumed. And there could be many touch points between where it is consumed and where it is created and where it is consumed. And sometimes there are factors at an industry level that allow you to maximize profitable market share. So these 5 forces analysis looks at some of those very deep trends and drivers at an industry level. What is the bargaining power of your suppliers and your customers? If you're selling to 1 or 2 customers, then who has more control on price? You or the customer? Tell me in the chat box. Naturally, the customer. And if your supplies are coming from 1 or 2 vendors, who has more control over your supplies? Naturally, the vendor. It also looks at what is the intensity of competition in an industry. The greater the competition in an industry, the lower the profitability of the industry. Please understand this. The greater the competition, the lower the profitability of the industry. And it also looks at what are the barriers to entry to an industry. Is it easy to enter the industry or is it difficult to enter the industry? And it also looks at what is the threat of substitute products. You don't get Coca-Cola, but you get Pepsi-Cola. For a lot of people, it is okay. So please understand that. This is what it looks at. And then as we examine the value chain for drivers and trends using this 5 forces analysis, we take it deeper with this PESTEL analysis. This PESTEL analysis stands for P for political, E for economic, S for social, T for technological, E for environmental, and L for legal. So we take it deeper because this really allows you to understand where exactly is the opportunity or the problem hiding. And then you also do a credit rating analysis because that helps you understand, will they have accessibility to funding and capital or not? And this credit report for a business also gives you some personal information on the owners. So you begin to identify who are the right people to connect with. And then we get into a market analysis. Feedback from people who are using the product or the service. How is the brand positioned? Are they playing to the luxury market? Are they playing to the value market? Are they playing to the middle market? How have they priced the product or the service? Now tell me, which soap is more expensive, Dove or Synthol? Which soap is more expensive, Dove or Synthol? Dove, right? Different target customer, different pricing, different features and benefits. So please understand, this helps you understand where are these gaps. And you also run a SWOT. This SWOT analysis is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It helps you understand what are the internal resources of the company, the strengths and weaknesses of the company, and what are market-based opportunities and threats. And then you also understand the risk level of their portfolio. What products are truly driving profits and sales, and what are holding the company back. And lastly, you conduct competitive analysis because it does not matter what industry you're in. Any brand is going to compete on these 3 factors. It's going to compete on price, quality, and service. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Brands are going to compete on the basis of price, quality, and service. So only when you compare, only when you benchmark against the best players in the industry, do you begin to understand how to change your price, quality, and service propositions. And do you want to understand, right? Let me ask you this. See, do you realize you're not looking to join the best run company? You're not looking to join the best run company. You are looking to join the company where your stake can have the biggest impact. How many of you are having a light bulb moment right now? Give me a LB for light bulb if you're understanding. All of this sheds clear light on where are the opportunities and the challenges for the companies that you are targeting. And then you make the assessment of how you can solve their problems. But do you want to know the real beauty of this system? Give me a B for beauty if you want to understand the real beauty of this system. This entire process is guided by simple templates. How many of you are feeling relieved? Give me a R for relief if you're feeling relieved. See, I was doing it so often, I had no choice. I had to build it in this manner. And the same for your soft data, because in your soft data stage, you're looking to understand the culture of the company before you get hired. So you're looking at certain very deep factors within an organization. You're looking at how well aligned are their departments. Are their KPIs mapped? Does everybody here understand the term KPI? Yes or no? See, KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator. It is the variables on which a department's performance is measured. And you have to map the KPIs to all departments and all responsibilities, all positions, all jobs. And then it helps you understand, is there clarity around the goal? Is everybody pulling in the same direction? KPIs are mapped. Is there goal clarity? And is there a realistic strategy to achieve that goal? Are they talking realistically or are they just in dreamland? And then are the right resources available to achieve and implement that strategy? Will you be given the resources to be able to be successful in that job? And what about their execution standards? Because this is where the rubber meets the road. And then please understand, the goal is to reach out to decision makers. The goal is to reach out to decision makers because it is entirely a game of positioning. How you position yourself in the job search and application journey. If you position yourself as a job seeker, you will not get access to this soft data information. If you position yourself as a job seeker, then you will also present your best side to the company, and the company will also present their best side to you. Because the company also wants to attract the best talent in the marketplace. Are you understanding this? Give me a U for understanding if you're understanding this. There are going to be two groups of people that you will interact with. You will interact with what I call is first connect, and you will interact with what I call is first research. Now, these first connects, these are not decision makers. These are the lower to mid-level employees in a company. They are not decision makers. Their only role in your candidacy is to give you this inside cultural information based in the right context. Please understand this. Their role is to give you this cultural insight into the company based in the right context. And these first research, these are senior level employees. These are decision makers. These are people who have the power and the authority to be able to give you. These are the two populations that you're going to connect with as you interact with the company based in the right positioning. And please understand, you are a unique individual. Each individual's positioning is going to be different based on their career. Are you with me so far? Give me a WM for with me if you're with me so far. So please understand this. There are a number of custom strategies that we use to create the right position so you have an understanding of the culture before you accept that job. And today in the world of social media, there is so much information you can get about people, about the people that you will be interviewing with, that you may be interacting with as you approach an organization. And keep in mind, there could be multiple people. There could be multiple departments and people that you're engaging with. In fact, the more senior the role, the more this interaction will be. These first connects, these are the employees. Please understand that. These are the people who can help you understand the true history, the values, the mission, the vision, the purpose of the company. They experience it every day. You need to have deep interaction with these people in the right context. Because if you know the culture of a company, the ground reality of the culture of a company before you get hired, you know much better if you will fit in or not. Please understand this. Because many companies are very well marketed, but the ground reality of working for them can be very different. Yes or no? Tell me in the chat box. Many companies can be very well marketed. They can have a brilliant presence, but the ground reality of working for them can be very different. And then these first researched, these are the management, these are the leaders of the organization. This is where you really need to understand what you are looking for in the culture of a company. And if you don't know yourself, you will not be able to uncover this. Are you suited to a startup? Are you suited to a turnaround? Are you suited to a crazy and chaotic work environment? Or do you need a calm and composed environment? It depends on your unique personality, because eventually you have to be able to get along with the people that you work with. If you don't admire and respect the people that you work with, it's not a sustainable position. You land up wasting a lot of your time in things like politics. Because see, the companies that you will target, they have an existing value system. They have an existing value system. There are some prevailing conditions that are already at play in those companies. The people who work there already have a developed personality, and either you will fit into that environment or you will not fit. And then finally you look at leaders, because leaders set the true tone for the company. Company where there is great leadership, their bad employees leave because they cannot hide in the system. But company where the leadership is the problem, there the good employees will leave because they are not getting the support to be able to perform at their top level. You need to understand these hot buttons. How does influence work within a company? Who is facing what kind of situational pressure? Where can you create the right relationships and alliances? This personal insight makes you a much more differentiated candidate. And again, this entire process is guided by templates. Please understand that. Can I share a truth bomb with you? Give me a TB for truth bomb if I can share this truth bomb with you. Please understand this, because this takes us into the third secret where I will tie up the whole system. Please understand this. Companies relate with you for their own needs, not for your needs and not for your greatness. Please understand this. How many of you are having a light bulb moment right now? Give me a LB for light bulb if you're understanding this. कंपनीज आपसे वास्ता अपनी जरूरतों के लिए रखती है, आपकी जरूरतों या आपकी महानता के लिए नहीं. And they are not doing anything wrong. They've taken a risk. They've made an investment. Please understand that. Their primary responsibility is to their owners and their investors, their shareholders, not to providing you employment. The only reason they will bring you on board is when they are convinced that by adding you to the payroll, they will be able to generate even greater value, even greater returns for their owners and shareholders, for their investors. And this is what takes us into the third secret. And this third secret is what I call the secret weapon. Please understand this. This is a game changer. This third secret is known as the inbound approach. And this is the approach that works. Most people keep using the traditional process of looking for jobs, and that doesn't work. Because the traditional process has a very high failure rate. One job opening, hundreds of applications. Naturally, the failure rate is very high. Because here you're shooting in the dark. You've not done that kind of research to make yourself a compelling candidate. You're going after standard jobs. That is why you'll get ordinary salary, standard salary. That is only if you get the job. And because the candidate has a blind journey in the traditional process, it can lead to a lot of, breaking of your confidence, because rejection is a very real part of the traditional job search process. These are extremely competitive situations. The focus is on grilling the candidate. How many of you have felt grilled in an interview? Give me a G for grilled if you felt grilled in an interview. Because please realize, the job search and application process is a process that is designed by employers for employers. Deepak is saying, sir, I have been deep roasted. Right? See, in this process, the power stays with the hiring company. They call the shots. And it's a very repulsive process because everybody is trying to, market themselves and prove their greatness. I'm the best candidate. No, I'm the best candidate. This process doesn't work anymore. What works is the inbound approach. And when you apply it correctly, it's got 100% success rate. Because this is a roadmap that will differentiate you based on the fact that you have done compelling research. You're going after solving those uncommon problems, those extraordinary needs. And that is why you get extraordinary salary, extraordinary and premium pay. And here you as the candidate engineer every aspect of your candidacy. The control is in your hands. And there is zero competition because nobody does this kind of research before they start interacting with companies. The focus is on the company's needs. Companies relate with you for their needs, not for your needs. When you learn this inbound approach, you will be able to speak in a language they want to listen to. And that is why the power moves to you. See, in life, whenever you pay sincere attention to someone else's problem, you will become more important for them. Agreed? Give me an A for agreed if you're understanding this. आप जिंदगी में किसी और की समस्या, किसी और की दुविधा पे जब सिंसियर अटेंशन देंगे, तो आप उनके लिए और जरूरी हो जाएंगे. So that is why the power moves to you. And when you run this as a campaign, as a broad to narrow campaign across multiple organizations, that is where you generate multiple offers. See, please understand, I'm going to take you a little deeper here. There are three stages. There are three stages to getting hired into your dream job. The first one is, how does the company get to know you? On what foundation does the company get to know you? If you have done the right research and made yourself compelling in this first stage, then the company will start to like you. You will move from being known to them to being liked by them. And these two stages you have to cross in the job search and application journey. Only then will you get to stage number 3, which is them starting to trust you. But trust will only happen after you get the job. See, at the end of the day, your work has to speak for itself. Kaam mein dam hona chahiye. But the reason you will be able to earn their trust is when you use the SPT model, you know that your speak matches their needs and they are able to provide you an environment where you will fit well. And see, the way you will interact with the company will be through written communication, verbal communication, and the face-to-face communication. Please understand that. The way the company will get to know you is through your written application, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your cover letter. So you have to master the inbound approach in the written mode of communication. And then they will screen you, they will shortlist you. You will get that phone call. So then you have to use this inbound approach in the phone mode of conversation, in the verbal mode. Only then will you be called for an interview. And then you have to use the inbound approach in the face-to-face interview or a virtual interview. And please understand this. The better the research you do and the more compelling you make yourself in this first stage, the greater your control over salary negotiation. How many of you are having a light bulb moment right now? Give me a LB for light bulb if you're making this connect. So you will be asked for your previous salary in every situation. The more compelling you are, please understand, the less you'll have to reveal your salary. You will not have to reveal it. They will accept you. Please understand this. I told you that all of the examples that I share with you, Okay, they are all going to be people who have put in that blood, sweat, and tears to earn their red diamond job. See, that is why I call my system the apex approach. The meaning of the word apex in the English language, okay, the meaning of the word apex, do you know what it means? Apex means the highest point, the tip, the top of the mountain, the pinnacle, yeah, the peak. That's right. Because this system gets you your dream job in less than 90 days. The traditional process gives no guarantees and it takes too long. And I use the word apex as a acronym. See, apex stands for accelerated professional excellence in X, where X is any job, any industry, any sector of the economy, any role. So now you have a choice. You have a choice. You can keep waiting for life to open doors for you, or you can make a master key. Give me a MK if you want to make your own master key. Because please understand, I told you that today I'm going to show you the 3 secrets and the framework of how this comes together. See, you have to take the responsibility of creating the alignment of the 3 circles. And your red diamond job lives at the center of these 3 circles. And to reach there, you have to take this journey of suspects to prospects to targets. And as you take this journey, you have to walk this road using the inbound approach. Only when you put these 3 secrets together does your red diamond become a reality. Give me a RDR for red diamond reality if you want to make your red diamond a reality. Because please understand, learning gives you knowledge. Learning gives you knowledge. It is the coaching that teaches you how to apply that knowledge. How many of you are realizing there is a lot more to learn? Give me a LML if you're realizing there is a lot more to learn. Because see, learning will teach you the knowledge. It will make you aware of what you need to do. But the coaching teaches you how to apply that knowledge. And knowledge is not application. Please understand that. You cannot go to a medical shop. You cannot go to a pharmacy or a chemist and ask for a career tablet. How many of you are smiling right now? Give me a S for smiling if you're understanding. You can't go to a chemist and say, Bhaiya, careeromycin ka ek patta dena. There is no tablet. Please understand, your career is like a living, breathing child. It requires a very strategic approach and deep nurturing to fix or to accelerate. Please understand that. And I know some people must be thinking, oh, he is a career coach, so he's talking about his coaching. You don't have to have me as your coach, okay? But please understand, the fastest way to get to where you want to be is to work with an expert. Please understand that. And see, I've given you a lot of fresh perspective about the job search and application journey. But this much I can tell you, there is no one who can help you achieve these results because my system came from my unique journey. Please understand that. Maybe they can get you a 15%, a 20%, a 30%, or even a 50% hike. But they can't get you a 200 or a 300% hike in less than 90 days. Please understand that. Because my system came from my unique journey. So the big question that I have for you is, how many of you want to work with me to get your red diamond job? Give me an I in the comment box if you want to work with me to get your red diamond job. See, if you want to work with me, then in the coming 20 minutes, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process of how this is going to work. Okay? How this is going to work. But please understand something. This is not for everyone. You cannot just be interested. You have to be committed. You cannot just be interested. You have to be committed. Because I only work with select people. I only work with people who understand the value of investing in themselves. Please understand that. You have to be very serious about your career. If you are willing to invest 20,000 rupees in yourself to achieve these kinds of results, then great. But if you're not willing to invest in your own growth, this is not for you. Because see, my feelings for you are not going to change. If you reach out to me, I will do my best to help you, but my time is committed to my students. And I am building my Red Diamond army. We already have many success stories. So please understand, across 27 countries and over 65 industries. All right. And I do this because this is my passion. Please understand, I've had a great career. I made a lot of money, and I also had some eye-opening insights into the science of building a career. Okay. So please understand this. This is not for your money, but please understand this. This is to keep you accountable, because people who invest take action, and people who take action get results. So please understand this. If you don't have your own skin in the game, you're not going to take this seriously. There is a gap between the career you want to create and the efforts that you're willing to put in. Because the real truth is that if you could do it, you would have already done it.
In 1 year, shares of Credit Suisse.
And I come from a very well-to-do background. Our family company is as old as India is independent. I'm a third generation entrepreneur as well. See, this is your commitment fees. Because the job of any coach is to know when to hug you and when to kick you. Please understand that. The bigger reason why I do this is because I know what it feels like to be fired. Because when you're in difficulty, you become invisible to the world. Give me an eye for invisible if you're understanding this. When you're in difficulty, you become invisible to the world. But I don't want to waste anyone's time, because only with your permission will I tell you what my program is about. Give me a P for permission if you want to understand what my program is about. Thank you. Because see, when you're let go, it hits your identity. Thank you. Thank you. See, my flagship program is known as the Apex Foundations program. And this program is priced at 19,999. Okay. Now, this is a program where you're going to go through recorded material and also hand holding. Okay. You'll go through recorded material and you'll also have hand holding. And I can tell you, please keep your method of payment ready. You can use credit cards or debit cards or GPay. There are multiple ways. And people come to my site every day to buy this for 19,999 plus GST. But today is the 8th of October and I have some special bonus gifts for my action taker friends. Do you love gifts? Give me a LG for love gifts if you love gifts. See, this is, I received some really great news yesterday. Okay. And I'll tell you what I mean by bonus gifts for my action taker friends. If you complete your transaction in the next 15 minutes, okay, I'm going to give you my complete bundle of courses. All right. Because yesterday I received a Guinness World Record. Yesterday I received a Guinness World Record. Here it is. So I'm doing this only today on the 8th of October because just yesterday I received this. It's a big milestone for me. Thank you so much. So please understand what this is. If you take action and complete your transaction in the next 15 minutes, you're going to get my complete bundle. And this bundle has a value of over ₹1 lakh. Okay. But it is entirely included for free. Okay. It is entirely included for free in this price of 19,999. Okay. And I'll tell you what all courses are, because this is a foundations program. You're going to get these 8 foundation courses, okay, that will build a common language between us. Okay, this will build a common language between us because the job search and application journey has many moving parts. What is the employer going to expect of you? How do you onboard the correct way? How do you tackle politics? How do you build your career with strategic intent? How do you negotiate salary? How do you interview? How do you deal with recruiters? How to fix a career that has gone off track? You're going to go through all of this, okay? And this will be a foundational program. These are recorded courses that you're going to go through, which will create a common language between us. Yes, Namrata, you have lifetime access to these courses. Correct, you have lifetime access. But all of this is included, okay? Because this helps me get to my red diamond. Because my goal is to see you break through that finish line where you have gotten the offers, the multiple offers at multiples of your current salary. But do you want more? Give me an M for more if you want more. Yes, this applies to freshers, it applies to mid-career professionals and even to senior leaders. I will give you more because I'm happy today on getting my Guinness record, right? So for the next 15 minutes, and I'll keep a timer for the next 15 minutes, okay? You don't have to pay 19,999 for this course. You only have to pay 9,999 including GST, okay? And you will get the complete bundle. You will get the complete bundle, okay? And I'll tell you what I want you to do. I'm going to give you the link, okay? Manoj is saying, how fast can I apply the SPT model? Manoj, you can apply it in less than 30 days, right? Now, please understand this. You pay 9,999 and this is a limited time offer. It is now 12:49. Let's say it's 12:50. Okay. We are only going to go till 5 minutes after 1 p.m. Okay. We're only going to go till 1:05. All right. Because you will cover these foundational courses. Okay. That will create a common language between us. Now, I'll tell you what I want you to do. I've put in the